I have 2 bars over here. You're like, why you have 2 bars? Because Johnny Elite set the bar very high. And for them, they set the bar low. This is a theme that's going to happen. I set the bar high with my testimonials because I only posted lay and po testimonials. They set the bar low. They are posting stupid testimonials that are YouTube screenshots, Tinder, and bootcamp reviews and product reviews, even if they didn't get laid. That doesn't fucking count. So Johnny Elite, 40 Asian laid po testimonial, setting the bar high. As they set the bar low, self-proclaimed high lay count guy, 3 laid testimonials. Same problem again. Because one Asian guy, when they set the bar low, he did not get laid. He just got phone number closes because he changed his mindset, and you can post that as a testimonial. Well, even though there's not a lot of people here right now, I'm still going to post about this stuff. So let's continue and let me get to it. When you look at their testimonial count, let's begin. Okay? I'm just preaching the gospel. I don't have any beef with him, but because of the fake news, I'm going to debunk it. So, did you know that Tinder laid testimonials doesn't count since Tinder is just a food app or an eBay auction? That isn't pickup. They are even posting bootcamp reviews or product reviews when the students didn't get laid, calling it crushing it, which is total bullshit. They even post YouTube comments when people could possibly be out and he stopped going to a red pill or a black pill. But that's not a laid testimonial. Let's say that was even real. Let's say that was not an out, but that was real. Why would anybody? Hey, sir, do you still approach with a face mask? I still approach with a face mask. I'm not vaccinated. So, anyways, as I was saying, thank you for being here. Because over here, we're going to set the bar high, and they're going to set the bar low. So, that is not a lay testimonial. That means they're trying to pad their fucking testimonial section, which is just gaslighting people. So I saw a white guy who claims he has like 200 lay testimonials or more, but only a percentage of them got laid. So many out of context screenshots taken from YouTube comments as testimonials, or guys who gave product reviews, or they're not getting laid, just dates lined up, whatever the fuck that means. Or some red pill, black pill, they stop using it, so that becomes a testimonial towards their so-called 200 fake news. I know a lot of you guys are brainwashed by this tall white dude. His marketing is very good, and I don't have any beef with him because I will be attacking red pill, flanking them on the side until Johnny Elite gets in on the action. Is not real. I'm not vaccinated. It's better you say that when I'm to approach. Thank you. Yes. So just keep wearing a mask and show her a picture of what you really look like on the phone, your best picture, and just say, that's me. It'll be easier that way. So it'll be like, no problem. All right. So I know a lot of you guys are brainwashed by this tall white guy, but he definitely puts in the work. Although I do think he is buying subs every week. Of course, that's just speculation. The word speculation. I have no proof of this. I'm just saying I speculate it because they put in all this energy, attack other coaches. Great. And RSD deserves to be roasted. And right now, you're just looking, the more subs you try to buy, and of course, this is just speculation. I could be wrong. So I don't have any proof of this. Don't worry, I'll eventually get vaccinated before boot camps next year. So it's not a problem. I'm not anti whatever. It's just I choose not to right now, but I will. So anyways, what I think is that you're being gaslighted because not all the screenshots or testimonials of their students got laid, or at least a minimum, a poll. That means at the very least, you need to have at least a fucking poll because they're making false claims that they have over 200 testimonials. they have an avalanche of testimonials or some shit, more than anyone in the world combined. No, you don't. I have the most. And poll is the least thing that I'll ever post. I don't care about boot camp reviews. I mean, even ABCs of Attraction can post boot camp reviews, but nobody gets laid except very few. And somehow that becomes what? A testimonial? Really? They didn't get laid. They just felt good because they got fleeced, but like sheeps. How is that a testimonial? That's exactly what it is. They're setting the bar low. Johnny Elite sets the bar high. So, if you're posting red pill and black pill, oh, I got over it. How that should not be in the testimonial section. In my opinion, that should be removed from their testimonial section. So, or when someone says anything remotely good, right? Oh, I got I got dates lined up. And then that's a non-accomplishment, but that's a fucking testimonial. Today, I'm going to talk about why this is bullshit. I could have posted nonstop late testimonials instead, if you want. But let's post some normal stuff here instead. Or let's talk about normal stuff. All right. So, if a white student got 99 lays on Tinder and only won in night game, for example, that is pickup because for night game is still considered pickup because you are literally picking up a woman and you are getting a lay from it. Day game, however, is also the same thing. Here, let me post this in my forum group, the Outer Circle. If you guys want to join it, that would be great. Outer Circle is my Facebook group because I don't want to write email messages. Let me just post it there right now. Just put like on live right now. On live now. Watch it. Watch it. And there you go. There you go. Okay. All right. So here's a link to the Outer Circle. If you guys want to join, that would be great. There it is. So just ask to join. I'll just let you in. All right. So if a white student got 99 lays on Tinder and only one in night game, for example, that is still pickup. But what is his lay count? If it's 99 lays on Tinder and only one on whatever, his lay count is still just only one. What? You mean, what do you mean just one, John? No, his lay count is one. No problem. So that should have been the lay testimonial, not the Tinder stuff. If the dating coaches pickup lay count is 400, for example, in night game, but they claim thousands of lays for Tinder, then his lay count is still 400 because that's pickup. Otherwise, you're setting the bar low. Not that dating coaches that are Caucasian shows any proof from open to sex. You'll never see it, ever. You just see random pieces of seeking arrangement lead gens or Tinder testimonials as proof. That's called evidence. So if you use like seeking stupidity and you take a picture and you stick out your tongue with her and you say, cover your face because you're on seeking stupidity. What, that's a fucking lay count? Or that's evidence? No, that's evidence. That's not proof because you don't see from open to sex. People like you, the reason why. Guys, stop fighting over this shit. Do whatever you want with your body. It's up to you. Okay? So you guys do whatever you want. You guys have that freedom. You have that choice. So if he wants to get vaccinated, great. If he doesn't want to, that's great. Who gives a shit? Your choice, your body. So whatever. You bear the consequences. However, saying that is totally false testimonial since if they only post pickup lays or polls, then their testimonials are literally non-existent. So if you take away all their Tinder testimonials because it's not pickup, how many testimonials do they really have? They have next to nothing. If you take away all the screenshots that just says they got over a black pill, or maybe I got dates lined up from using your product, how can you trust these testimonials from YouTube. I'm not saying that they are the out. It's just speculation. But I'm just saying they could even be an out and then write something good and then screenshot it to pad their testimonials because they like to set the bar low. Johnny Elite sets the bar high. If you got a poll, you're a disappointment, but that's the least I will accept for testimonials. If they're posting fucking stupid ass comments as testimonials, they're just padding their testimonials. Fake news, fake game, not real testimonials. I just don't like. Okay, look. All right, let's continue. So they lied when they say, oh, they have an avalanche of testimonials. But what they didn't tell you is that their later poll testimonials are unreliable YouTube comments. And what about bootcamp and product reviews? Do they count? Of course not. Even if the student didn't get laid but a few dates lined up, it doesn't count because it's setting the bar low. So what I'm trying to say is, I mean, if ABCs of low self-esteem can get testimonials or reviews, who gives a shit? Really? They have nothing but 5-star reviews, but they didn't have many students laid. And whenever they need a testimonial, JT scam, he's not a scam, but all he has to do is just say, oh, another student got married from ABCs of low self-esteem. That's all he has to say. And all of a sudden, people get into a frenzy. But where is the proof? There's no fucking proof. I don't know why people are dropping off, but whatever. I don't care. So, I'm Johnny Elite. I am a day game coach with 502 lay poll testimonials. So right now, I'm going to share with you 3 hidden facts about totally false testimonials. Since if they only post to pick up lays or polls, then their testimonials are non-existent because Tinder doesn't count because that's setting the bar low. They lied when they say they had an avalanche of testimonials. But what they didn't tell you is later poll testimonials since they added stupid, unreliable YouTube comments or bootcamp and product reviews that even ABCs can have, like by comforting the fucking sheeps. They're not getting laid, but they're comforted. All right, cool. So basically, even if the students didn't get laid, but a few dates lined up, as it says in their screenshots, is posted as a testimonial, they should axe it. They should totally cut that right out of their fucking testimonials because that doesn't fucking count. That doesn't fucking count. Now you can see that they're setting the bar low. And most white dating coaches, when they don't get a student laid, for example, like Charisma King, it's like, oh, the Asian student turned into a beast. What does a beast mean? Like, in what way is he a beast? Like, did he turn into an animal? They're trying to imply that he got laid, but he didn't get laid, but it wants to make it sound like he got laid. That's why they call it a beast. Oh, he turned into a beast. Beast. What does that mean? That's what white dating coaches do. When you look at RSD Max's product and you see the natural and you see all these testimonials, it's all fake because nobody got laid. They put their head down like this a little bit and they say, oh, I learned about my sticking points. If I continue this, I know I'll eventually get laid. Nobody got laid because people don't get laid during RSD's boot camps or during their products during the training period. They get laid like 8 months afterwards when they do about 4,000 approaches. That's why it's bullshit. So they use this vague, crushing it. They're crushing it. What are they crushing? The only thing they're crushing is your fucking wallet because it's being crushed into a million pieces because all that money is being crushed. You're not crushing anything. What does crushing it mean? This is one of those deceptive languages that you hear from other dating coaches. Fake news, fake game. And then they talk about, oh, they're turning into a beast. What does that mean? You're turning into a beast. How's that a fucking testimonial? You're crushing it. They're turning into beast. In what way are they crushing it? And in what way are they turning into a beast? Yo, what's up? So basically, I'm talking about fake news and fake game. How dating coaches are padding their testimonials with stupid screenshot comments from YouTube. How they got over black pill or red pill. It's like, what does that mean? Or they're using boot camp reviews and product reviews, and they're not even getting laid, but they just put that into their testimonial count. And they dare even fucking say that they have, oh, an avalanche of testimonials. They have more than it. Bullshit. That's like setting the fucking bar low. Johnny Elite sets the bar high. They set the fucking bar low. That's exactly what's happening. And I'm just gonna preach this until people fucking understands this. It just doesn't mean they got laid. It means they got ripped off by using vague language to confuse their audience. Oh, they don't even post women they bang, so there's no real proof, just spoken. When you actually look at their testimonials, I look at their testimonial page. I was looking at all the women that students fucked. How many is there? 2. The woman's quite attractive, but they only showed 1. Good afternoon, zombies. Pay attention to the best coach, the very best coach, because Marco over here, Marco has 4 ladies under my coaching. 4. I have the screenshots. He'll be the next YouTube live or in the future. He has 2 girlfriends at the same time before the pandemic. Now he still retains 1. So that's real testimonials. That's real testimonials. They have fake news and fake game over there. We should keep a tally who gets more lays, vaccinated or. Just get over that, okay? Because most of my students are, some of them are, some of them aren't. But regardless, it doesn't matter. They get laid just the same. So I know who's who. All right, let's continue. So they don't even post, like they say, oh, the student got Tinder testimonials. They got like a 9 out of 10. And they only post 1 woman. And they didn't fucking censor her face. What the fuck? Just 1 blonde woman or 2. So if that is the hottest women they posted from their student lay testimonials, and they didn't show anything else on their testimonial page, are they banging a bunch of war pigs? Are they banging a bunch of fucking ugly war pigs? That's what you don't know. I actually show my students' testimonials. Isn't that weird? Johnny Lee actually shows the women that my students banged. I just censor their face. So that way I can give them the privacy and they can enjoy my students' company after they fucked the living shit out of her. So regardless of that, can you guys stop fighting over this? I don't want to hear that right now. Your choice, your body. Do whatever you want. Okay? Either way. All right, let's continue. So basically, how is that credible when you can't see the women the students laid? So they're like, oh, he banged at 8.5 or something. He got a rotation. Okay, but what are they fucking? They're fucking a bunch of ugly 4 out of 10 looking women or 5 out of 10 on Tinder. And it's like, oh yeah, I mean, they'll never show it because they're ugly and they're below their look scale. And that's the funny thing, is because they could be all like 6 out of 10s. And they just got the occasional 9 out of 10 once or twice. So who knows what the women looks like? I'm just saying. They're just probably, most likely, banging women that are very, very unattractive. All right. So with my deductive abilities, how come there's only 2 women posted for their testimonials that look good? No others were. I mean, wouldn't you find that a little bit suspicious? My London day game student banged 2 women more attractive than her. He banged a sister and that became his girlfriend. 2 models. He posted proof. You can see all the women he's fucking. You can see them nude too. That's proof right there. I'm just saying. It seems like those 2 women are the only ones they posted in their testimonial pages that are worth posting. So are they banging nothing but war pigs? Like I said, I don't have proof. This is only speculation. The word speculation. But this is fishy already. I understand that there's legality reasons or excuses like, oh, you can't post people like that. But people will be more skeptical if you don't post the students' lay testimonials. If they're saying, oh, they're banging a bunch of women. But if they're banging a bunch of 6 out of 10s, is that even worth it? You can still censor the pictures at least. or at least take a picture of them in the bedroom and covering their faces in their information. So here's an unrelated topic. If you see a coach that doesn't censor the women's faces in their infields, they're probably just hanging out with the women. They're not banging them. They're just hanging around with them in a social circle afterwards. Censoring the women's faces are super important. You got to protect your social value. But why aren't the women's posted for their late testimonials with censor faces? I'm just saying. So let's talk about the 3 secrets behind all this stuff. Why this is fake news and fake game. But before we do that, let's talk about the first testimonial. Let me see if I can find them. Testimonial. Final test. I got too many testimonials to post. Okay. Oh, for fuck's sakes. I wish I was more organized. Well, I'll just post this one first. All right, let's listen to it.
Hi, I am one of John Elite's students. I am Indian American. I am 5'5", and I'm from the United States. John Elite was talking about me in his last video. I took self-proclaimed high lay counts 8-week mentorship, and I got no results from it. He then tried to upsell me with another mentorship, which is 6 months, and it's $1,500 a month.
$1,500 a month? Dude, you could take Kaizen for that kind of price and get like a couple of lays, like most of my students. So far, Kaizen has 100% success rate. I have one more current student who's an unteachable case, Spanish guy. He might be the first one that fucks up my perfect record. But 1,500, that means once you finish your 8-week mentorship, you get upsold. This is not like false information. This is not like anything that's false. Everything he says is 100% true at the time. So he's just talking about his experience. Everything can be backed up.
I didn't do that though. He had other students that didn't get results. And a lot of his students wanted a refund. This is 100% true at the time.
Yep.
I also took a boot camp with RSD Tyler. That was a complete joke.
Yeah.
You would have 12 students on the boot camp with only 3 instructors. Tyler took 6 students and would try and approach with them, even though it was supposed to be a 3 student to 1 instructor ratio. Tyler didn't give much instruction. He would be late to the boot camp with no excuse. And he wouldn't give much instruction. He would just be doing mostly his own thing most of the time. And
yo, what's up?
Yeah, not really helping the students much, if at all. And after the boot camp, I talked to the other students. Not one person said that the boot camp was worth it. And not any of them said they would take another boot camp with RSD. And a lot of people said they could do the same thing by themselves. And then I went to John Elite because a lot of his students got results. And I saw that he had a lot of testimonials with
real testimonials, not fucking stupid Tinder testimonials. This guy has 7 lays now under my coaching. He had 0 before from self-proclaimed high lay count guys. Fucking 8-week mentorship. 0. He's like a little short, little fucking Indian guy. He's 5'4" or 5'5". He's very short. Okay. But it wasn't enough. He had to redo his entire dating and entire texting, bedroom escalation, fashion, everything. But now they have another Asian student who's like, I took their program and I got some dates. I got a mindset shift. What the fuck does that even mean? You guys are short. You guys have no fucking value. Seriously. And you're going to a white dating coach who only has 3 late testimonials for dating. Does that compute? That is like setting the bar fucking low. See, John Elite likes to set the bar high. They like to set the bar low. Stupid. Absolutely insanely fucking stupid. But hey, Tinder testimonials counts now. I don't understand why girls can act like they're from another planet. I have no idea what you're trying to say. Okay, but that's interesting.
Them getting results. John, he told me to shave the sides of my beard.
Mhm.
He picked a specific pair of pants, and he told me to get a haircut of his choice. And with his instructions and me following his rules, I was able to get a lay in 9 days of the program, and then also a lay in 11 days of the program.
Yeah, he got 2 lays back to back. You know, maybe some of their other students who have no SMV. Here's what I think happened. All right, it seems to be like a lot of students. They have a ton of students. They have good marketing, probably very amazing marketing, and then only a small percentage of students get results. It's like a little yolk. The rest of the egg gets no results, but the little yolk gets results. So they post it towards their testimonials. But they're posting anything these days. If they got dates lined up on YouTube comments, is being posted as testimonials. Did they get a lay? No. But how is YouTube comments even like, how is it even credible? For all you know, they could be creating outs. I don't think they're doing it. It's just a speculation, but they could do that, can't they? Of course, I know Marco over here. He's my student, so therefore it's real. It's like fucking 4 lays and 2 girlfriends at the same time. But however, how can you trust a YouTube comment saying, I use your products? Anyone can make outs. I never will use a YouTube comment as a testimonial because it's unreliable. I want to see proof. This is why I post the women that they fucked. This is why the students post proof for me. Sometimes I have to censor the student and the women when they're nude. So you see their dick sometimes, and you see the women's vagina. You know, sometimes like you gotta censor the sound. I've seen it all, and they're okay. They're just like, here, John, censor it. Just cover my face, cover information. Their stuff does not actually show the women. You can't fucking see the women. Yeah, it's true that every clothing should be a different color, so pants, shoes should all be. No, I have a science behind it. I'm not going to talk about it here. All right, I'm not going to talk about here. So the first hidden fact is only day game and night game laid testimonials counts, since that is pickup. Tinder is not pickup. The big idea here is that Tinder is just an eBay auction where you post pictures of yourself. Women chooses like a food app which flavors they like. And what is the flavor they like the most? White privilege. I just fucking said it. White privilege. 100% true. So most of their testimonials is white. I mean, there's nothing wrong with white people. Most of my recent students are actually white, believe it or not. They're not Asians. They're actually white people. You're like, really? Yeah, most of my students right now are white for the newest batch. Bootcamp students, new products, and one Indian, but mostly whites. So you said all black is bad? No. I mean, like, if you're wearing nothing but all black, then I'm doing this today, all black, because, you know, I'm trying to go for like a John Wick kind of theme. You know what I mean? So it really depends on the person. I'm not going to say anything else because you try and decode my fashion sense. You'll never figure it out because you don't know what I teach. You never know what I teach. White people aren't angels. Oh, they are not angels at all. So I'm not here to be racist. I mean, I'm the least racist person here. The least racist because I have white relatives, by the way. Did you know my aunt is actually white? So did you know that? My cousins are half white and half Chinese. My cousin's like 6'6", very tall. My aunt is like 5'11". A blonde woman or golden blonde hair and big boobs. So my uncle did pretty well for himself. And he's dead now. He died of hepatitis B. He was born with it. So fuck him. Good riddance. I didn't go to his funeral. Fuck him. So having said that, I have a lot of white students, as you guys have seen before. So John is related to white people, but believe it or not, John's also related to Latinos. My uncle, who is Latino, looks exactly like Marco over there. Do you know that? You both have the same fucking template. My other uncle is black. So I have a very diverse, multicultural family, and I treat my white students with the most respect. So having said that, is the fact that most white people have the highest response rate on Tinder, OkCupid, and every online dating app. Wait a minute. So this is important because Tinder does not involve social skills, just good pictures, which favors Caucasians due to their ethnicity. You might be saying, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Relate to your ethnicity. Yeah, Marco, you actually look exactly like my uncle. His name is called Kirk. So he's called Uncle Kirk. But he looks exactly like you. He's just a little bit more like, he's a little bit older than you now. But he's like the future you. He is from, I think it's from South America, Guyana or something like that. So our family used to live in Guyana. My grandfather and my father, they started a shop there. So so John's related to Latinos and he's related to whites and blacks. Correct. So, and also my grandfather's brother married a black woman. So I have a lot of Blasians in my family, half Asians, half Chinese. They live in Toronto. So if you see the Toronto Blasians, they're probably related to Johnny Elite. So they're very tall too, some of them. They look like Tiger Woods. So one of my cousins, he's all black, he's 6'6", bald, big guy. He moved from Toronto to Vancouver. He didn't like it there. He gets treated very badly in Toronto. He loved Vancouver, so he stayed. The other two did not stay. But I digress. So their late testimonials corresponds with my perceived natural status charts. So they're so-called 200 fake news testimonials. For the ones that have Tinder testimonials, mostly they're white people. So who's number one on my perceived natural status chart? White people, 10 out of 10, perceived natural status. What's the second bunch of people that got laid? Black people. A few, not that many, but that's number 2 on my chart, 8 out of 10, black people. Then Middle Easterns, they have a few. And then Latinos. Then whitewash Indians. They only got 1 or something, or 2. Very few. Short blacks, I'm not sure if they have any. And token Asians, they have like 1 token Asian. Why is white first? Because white is right. White people on the online dating has the very highest response rate in the world. Asian women are into white guys more than they're into Asians. Seriously. When you look at the chart, not even our race likes our own kind that much. They like white people. This is a fact. White people have the most value. So therefore, on their Tinder, because Tinder does not have any social skills or any emotional control or any body language, it's just fucking texting back and forth like a fucking food app. That means you're only filtering the pictures in the race. And what race is on the top for most of their students? White. It goes to show how much white privilege there is because people automatically trust white dating coaches. But we have never, ever. Why white is first? I don't care if you disagree. You think Asians are number 1? They're like the last place. When you look at the charts for response rates, they're pretty low. They're not the last place, but they're like second last overall. So maybe you're one of those Asian masculinity guys, like, oh, we are equal. Yeah, you're like a fucking Asian carp. Asian carp is like a fish that's an invasive fucking species. They dress completely Asian wash. So they demand everyone starts treating them equal. Oh, but why we get treated not equal? We're the same. But you're a fucking carp. You jump out of the water, you destroy their ecosystem. So my black student was living in China, believe it or not. One of my black students who got laid in one approach. Wow, and you said you're not, I'm not racist, I'm just speaking the truth. That you have mistaken the word racism. It's called xenophobia. So let's talk about xenophobia. It means the fear and dislike of other people's culture. So when my black student was in China, guess what happened? They treat him with xenophobia. He never demanded the Chinese treat him like equal. He didn't, because that's their country. So if the Chinese can treat my black student like he's part of the out tribe, which is xenophobia, then you have no right in America to demand equality. It's not about racism. It's a xenophobia. There's the out tribe. So out tribes can happen all the time. With Latinos, the more they flood the Texas border, the more they become part of the out tribe. So their SMV can go down now. They used to be 7 out of 10. Now they're like 6. It could go down to 5. And it's the same with the Asians after COVID-19. The blacks were beating up the Asians, as you call it, the hate crimes. Oh, yeah, they're treating us bad, John. But you have to understand, when my students dress whitewash, 0 of them ever gotten any racial abuse because they're part of the in tribe. Anyone can throw out the word racist, racist this, racist that, but xenophobia. So when my students start dressing whitewashed, they got no racism. The women were into them. So they're not part of the out tribe. So this is one thing that Asians can learn from my students. And one Chinese student started to dress like the out tribe, and he went to get a haircut. He started wearing his Asian wash fashion. He got racially abused 3 times in a row. I had to talk to the store owners to not racially abuse this student because he looks China washed. You give him a good haircut, right? Stop treating him like he's part of the Wuhan flu. And that's the truth, is that there's no such thing as racism. They're not racist against you. They're just xenophobic. But white people do have the highest SMV so far. They get the Asian women. So you're saying that white people have no SMV. So if they go to Thailand or Philippines or Japan or China, they're not treated like gods? Come on now. So it's not about this or equality. It's all about don't be part of the out tribe. That's the biggest lesson I can teach you. The only thing, okay, Russians and Eastern European girls are easy for Indians. If you look like a black person and you're Indian, it'll be super easy. Did they have to pay for it? It's not real. I don't even know what you're trying to say. So, no, because if you look like a black person, like a Negro, and you're Indian, you get nothing but nonstop Russians and Eastern Ukrainian women. You get endless because you look black. Or if you look like a whitewashed Indian, you're 4 out of 10. Then you have a better chance with Eastern European women. But if you look like a negative stereotype Indian, most of the time they don't know. They either look like whitewash or blackwash. So that's how they do it. Anyways, next question. So whites are 10 out of 10. Blacks are 8 out of 10. If you look like you're black, you're still treated like you're black because that's a perceived natural status. Then you got tall Middle Easterns who went up 1 score. Then you have Latinos who went down to 1 score. Now they're 6 out of 10. Tall Pakistanis, 5 out of 10. Whitewashed Indians, 4 out of 10. Short blacks, 3 out of 10 because they have no muscles and no pre-selection. No height, no protector status. And number 2, really, really negative stereotype bench-shouldered Indians. The ones who do not give a fuck about being whitewashed. And number 1 out of 10 is Asians. But 0 out of 10 is the Asian carp types that completely disregard dressing whitewash, so they get beaten up. I look like a Latino, but I'm Indian with an accent. Congratulations, you have a 6 out of 10 perceived natural status, Mr. Clout. If you look like you are Indian, it goes down to 2 out of 10. If you look like you're whitewash Indian, it goes up to 4 out of 10. Unless your status maxing, you have like a cool lifestyle and cool job, then it'll go up. Hope that makes sense. All right, let's continue. So basically, the saddest thing I've seen is that for this coach, he had this Asian guy who looked like an Asian carp. Shit fashion, shit hair. You know, he had to feel like he was enough. He was part of the red pill for years. Like a fool, he wasn't getting laid, just getting number of closes because he was taught, you are awesome. He's like, oh, man, you're awesome. It's like, what? You're awesome. Okay. And who cares what women thinks about you because you should expect that lay. Oh, I mean, if you're dressed well, you got a V-shaped body, you got social skills and social calibrations from Johnny Elite, then of course you should expect to do well. Because you should expect the lay, of course, because you earned the right because you have enough points. You know, looks. That's the problem because they set the Johnny Elite sets the bar high. They set the bar low. And when you look at the score, looks is out of 10. Money is out of 5. Race hierarchy is out of 10. For status, unless you're status maxing. Social skills is 2.5 points. Social calibrations is 2.5. Emotional control is 2.5 and game is 2.5. That's 20 out of 35. So if the Asian student over there was 20 out of 35 for day game, then he would be enough. He can just go out there and expect to get that lay. There are plenty of RSD victims out there who walks out there in day game and they think they are enough. Looks don't matter, race don't matter. I'm enough. And they go out there and they spam approach. So if he had the mindset shift and they're posting that as a testimonial, it's fake news because they're setting the bar low. Johnny Elite sets the bar high. Poe is already a failure in my coaching, but I still count it. But they're counting a fucking testimonial when a student just got phone number closes and they call that a testimonial for their page. It doesn't count. Fake news. Because he didn't get laid. He didn't even fucking pull. He just had a mindset shift or a brainwash shift. It's like ABCs of low self-esteem telling you, you are enough. Asian pride. It's just brainwashing you. Because if you don't have the fucking value, you're just going to spam approach. And what happens when you spam approach over and over and over again? Eventually, you're going to start to feel like, wait a minute. You're going to have this potential in your mind because, oh, you are enough. You expect that lay, right? Then your fucking actions are like, okay, my body language is different now because I expect that lay. So he gets a few numbers. And then it goes down to his results. He didn't get laid, not even pull. And then now his belief changed a little bit, but I'm still enough because a white dating coach told me I'm enough. And then what happens is it goes back to potential. For the potential, now it's like, okay, maybe his potential is not that high. But he goes back out there thinking he's enough, getting some more phone number closes. And then afterwards, his results are shit. And now he's starting to question, is this white dating coach for real? Am I enough, really? No, but I am enough. And then his potential is not as high now. Now it's a little bit shaky. Now he realized he's been gaslighted. Remember, eventually this student will come to Johnny Elite for coaching. Red pill fucks you up. I will back him up for red pill. I will attack the red pill. Don't worry about that. I'll attack from the flank. He can fix them. But for this one, I want to talk about how I disagree with him first before I attack the red pill afterwards. I'm working out every day to get the V-shaped body. I'm 6 foot tall. Here's the funny thing, because you cannot see the abs through the blazer or the clothing. Seriously. You cannot see the abs or abdominal muscles. So the V shape is what shows up. You may be full of muscles. You may be ripped. But you may be ripped and skinny. But if you don't have the V shape, women cannot fucking see it. You get the best of both worlds. So you don't always need to wear a fucking t-shirt and use steroids. I don't recommend steroids. And one of my students recently got really big in 2 months. Looks like bigger than 2 fucking years. But here's the thing. This guy, their fucking Asian student, he looks like a skinny fucking nerd, doesn't dress well, has glasses, has a shit haircut. He's not enough. Yeah. Be careful of your skinny ectomorph. It's going to be tougher. You got to look, how do ectomorphs build muscles? So, like a fool, he thought he was enough, but he's not getting laid. As it continued going down this path, he's going to start to feel like, okay, he's changing his actions. His results are shit again. And then he starts to not believe in the white dating coach. His potential goes down. And then afterwards, his fucking results or his actions are still shit. And then his results are shit. And then his belief goes down. He's going to go in a downward fucking spiral because he trusts the white dating coaches. That's a fucking testimonial. It should be taken out because he didn't get laid or he didn't pull. He didn't get laid, he didn't pull. Just setting the bar low. Johnny Elite's bar is high. Their bar is fucking low. He didn't get laid. How does that count as a testimonial? I feel sorry for that Asian guy. You should train with Johnny Elite, not some tall white guy. I mean, why post his testimonials? Number closes? Because they're padding the testimonials. Like Albert Einstein says, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. How you expect different results if you keep going and sucking on the white cock? When you keep worshiping the white dating coaches, the white plausibility. In fact, name one white dating coach who's ever shown an infield with the open to transition, to instigate, to pull to bedroom escalation and sex. Show me one dating coach. Only one guy from Latvia, a Russian guy with brown hair, tall. He got a rape charge, actually. But he was the only one of a white dating coach. I'm not saying you should train with him because the guy likes to blackmail his students. But that is the only one white dating coach that shows open to sex. Just one guy in the whole world. How come we never seen a second white dating coach show that? Because their value is not above 20 or 35. You're like, what? I'm skinny fat, but I have fat. Skinny fat is the worst. So basically, white dating coaches, for their status, they have a 10 out of 10. That's a given. However, for their looks, they're usually around, if they're not like 8 out of 10, right? Let's say they're like 7 or 6. 7 out of 10. They need 3 points to get over that line. So they try to use some game, but their game sucks. That's just 1 point. So now they're like 10 points plus 7, that's 17. That's 18 points. So they try to use charm and charisma from emotions. That's 18 points. You get it? They have no social skills because they use the zombie flow drill. For the zombie flow drill, what they do is that they usually start with a fucking statement. You look like you are whatever. And she's like, yeah, I am. Then they ask a fucking question. Are you this or that? And she's like, no, I'm not. But you look like another fucking statement or co-read. You look like you're this. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I am. Are you this? Are you that? Are you this? 3 questions. And she's like, no, I gotta get going. I got a boyfriend. Oh, it's a numbers game. It's the same fucking zombie pattern. You see this with Coach Kyle. You see this with who's that Charisma King's like boyfriend? His name is some white dude with chubby face. And then you see that with all the other white dating coaches. That means they have no social skills. So most white dating coaches are not above 20 out of 35. The naturals are. The guys that I know that are naturals, they actually bang women like that because they have social skills and social calibrations because they're born like that. They have emotional control. So it's not like, oh, there's more than one way to do game. No, there isn't. There's only so much social skills you can have with the social skill flow drill. Social calibrations, perfect body language, elite 30, Kaizen, emotional control. You see, that's 7.5 points right there. That's 7.5 points. That means that does not need to change. All the naturals that I know, I've been mentored by over 12 naturals. They all have perfect body language, social calibrations, perfect social skills, and perfect emotional control. So the only thing that's different is their game or their tactics are different because they all have different body types. Do you understand? Because one 5'4" Pakistani mentor will have different tactics than the 5'11" Pakistani mentor because they're different circumstances. They'll use different stuff, but everything else is the same. Perfect social skills, perfect social calibrations. Game, you can't change it too much. So fuck game tactics. They always say, oh, the white people are like, oh, it's all tactics and strategy. Is it really all tactics and strategy? What about skills? Look at Russians in the battlefield. Russians have no fucking skills. They just indiscriminately bomb Ukraine. When you have no skills, it doesn't matter what tactics or strategy you use because you cannot execute it. So it's so stupid. They're like, oh, it's all strategy. I know every fucking strategy in the fucking book. That's just game strategy. But what about all this other stuff? They don't have it in their infield. They hunch. Most white people, they hunch. Even scam lifestyle hunches. You know, the tall, good-looking Asian dating coach, his neck is like this. He's crossing his arms. Other people put their hands in their pockets. Like Queef and Casanova. That's not social calibrations. That's just like, I don't know what that is. They have no social skills. It's just nothing but statement, question, statement, question, and her giving a short answer in between. A 30-second number close. Don't you understand? These are RSD variants. Fucking RSD variants of scam lifestyle. Fucking RSD variant. That means the variants are more dangerous than the actual. If you compare like COVID to RSD, the variants like Omicron or Delta, you can compare that to RSD-like concepts. They gaslight entire cities, like Vancouver, for example, way in the past. Now they're gaslighting China. But the variants are more like transmissible. The more dangerous, the more it's going to ruin your lives. So let's continue. So you think some short 4 out of 10 looking Asian without calibrating his hairstyle or fashion to be more whitewash, where social skills matter during day game. A guy with zero status there is going to get laid because he has this mindset that, oh, it's a law of expectations. You are awesome. You're enough. Expect to get that lay. Of course, it's very important to have the body language and the social calibrations on the belief because you don't want to affect your vibe. Obviously, that's important. But where the fuck is the value? Where's the skills? That's what people don't realize. Where's the fucking skills? There's none. So when he doesn't get laid and he gets all angry at dating coaches, when he was red pilled before, he was gaslighted. He's most likely going to be gaslighted by either Queefing Casanova next, or he's going to come to Johnny Lee and get laid afterwards. And then he's going to call out the white dating coach. And he's going to call out red pill. But I find these red pill guys, they're very unteachable cases. They're brainwashed. Don't go to these forum groups. So for this Indian guy, this 5'5" Indian, as I was playing his testimonial, he was part of their 8-week mentorship program. You think someone with zero status or 4 out of 10 looking, zero fucking height, zero anything, skinny fat is going to get laid with their coaching? Of course not. I had to repair the fucking fashion, the text game, the dating, and the bedroom stuff. So he fucking changes. And his fucking bench-holding roommate is always like, oh no, don't listen to John. Don't use that hairstyle, right? It doesn't look good. Don't use that beard style. Don't use this. Don't use that fashion. But he kept getting laid one after another. And then he's like, then I was like, fuck you, motherfucker. Stop bench-holding. You know, I should get the student to update his video because after the 3rd time, he got laid again on Tinder. This is his 7th lay. He went back to his old fucking hairstyle, which is like a mushroom cut, like a K-pop artist. And then when he went back to the Johnny Elite hairstyle, he got laid again right away. And it's like, was that right, motherfucker? Right. So just because he gets the haircut doesn't mean automatically he gets laid. But getting that haircut makes him look more whitewashed, makes him look more better. It increases his looks and it increases his status. It's a science. And then he was able to close again because with the other hairstyle, he just kept fucking pulling and nothing happened because it wasn't enough. The 20 out of 35 is a perfect formula, and they don't realize that. So after he finishes 8-week mentorship program, he got upsold for a year, $1,500 a month. Dude, you can take Kaizen every single month, and you can probably get 3 lays every single time you take it. I mean, great business model, right? You finish the 8-week mentorship program, and then you get upsold for a whole fucking year. What's 1,500 times like whatever? Let's use a calculator, shall we? Calculator. 1,500. Of course, the prices might be different. Times 12, a whole year is $18,000. They'll be like, oh, it's worth it for whatever lays. Yeah, but it favors a lot of white people. It's like a perfect hierarchy. All his testimonials are correspondent to the amount of lays, mostly whites, a few blacks, Middle Easterns, one whitewash Indian or 2, short black, and just 1 token Asian, unless there's more. I haven't seen it. So there is a hierarchy. Stupid. I might as well make, I was thinking about making a course that has all my courses in one for 10K. 3MP, Kaizen, boot camp 7 days, tech scheme for minorities, Elite 30, Elite Access, Elite Playbook, all in one. Yeah, I should do that throughout the whole year, but only for people that is way cheaper than what they charge. If they're charging 18K, 10K, you can get even better results, and they count because they're actually real testimonials, not fucking Tinder shit. All right. So the second hidden fact is they post testimonials like boot camp or product reviews. It doesn't matter because if, before we talk about this, right, let's listen to another testimonial from this Indian guy. Okay. Let's listen to his update.
Hello, everyone. I am the 5'5" Indian student that John refers to. I made a video testimonial saying I got 2 lays before with John Elite. I just wanted to update that and say that I got 3 additional lays.
Okay, before I teach the boot camps, I'm going to teach it next year because COVID is not under control this year. I don't want to die in the fucking middle of the boot camp and be putting a ventilator in my lungs. So there's a lot of people waiting. There's a big wait list. So you'll have to be next year. I'm hoping that COVID's under control. That's all I'm saying.
With John Elite. And I got these lays because John helped me with my hairstyle, my posture, my text game, my fashion, my objection dealing, and facial expressions. Previously, I worked with high self lay count guy, and all his tactics and dating tips did not work for me. They may have worked for taller Indian students, but didn't really work for me since I am shorter. And if I got leads before, nothing happened till John had fixed my fashion and objection dealing and pulling in the bedroom. John doesn't count these as lay testimonials because they were from online game, but I just wanted to add it to the testimonials.
Yeah, I don't actually count Tinder. So if he got 7 lays on Tinder, he got 0 lays, only 1 from social circle gathering. Just 1 lay.
And I wanted to say that everyone should take John Elite Access because it helped me and it can help you too. Thank you for listening.
All right, let's continue. So let's talk about the next thing. The second hidden fact is they post testimonials like bootcamp product reviews. It doesn't matter if they reviewed it because they didn't get laid or pulled. It shouldn't be posted. It's like ABCs of attraction. If you go to their Yelp page, you probably see a lot of good reviews. But how many of the students got laid? You can literally bring sheeps into your fucking coaching, comfort the fucking sheeps, extract the fucking wool like a fucking slaughterhouse. They didn't get laid. And guess what happens? They just they feel good. They pump their state. This is like brainwashing, how that you are enough. That's not fucking laid testimonials. It's the same with this guy posting stupid fucking bootcamp reviews. Whenever you see bootcamp reviews or product reviews from other dating coaches, and they did not get laid, a lot of people dropped off after I say ABCs of low self-esteem because a lot of them are very uncoachable when they come to me. They don't believe in themselves. They can pull, but for them, it's hard for them to get laid because they have this mental bullshit, this Asian masculinity bullshit in their head. The reason why ABCs of low self-esteem students no longer come to John Elite is because they cannot stand my Asian students getting laid nonstop. They see that stuff and they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe. So therefore, they hate me because they're scared of success. So he posted an Asian guy and they tried to make it seem like he got laid. Like, oh, he didn't get laid. It's just some red pill Asian for the self-proclaimed high lay count guy. Phone number closes does not fucking count. They should not be part of the fucking testimonials. But so many coaches that you see out there are always posting these bootcamp reviews like, oh, I learned about my sticking points. Wait, you learn about your sticking points? Congratulations. The only thing they sticked is their hand down your fucking wallet and they pulled the money right out of it. You didn't learn anything about your sticking points. You learned you got ripped off. You got ripped off. So what the flying fuck was that posted for? It's deceptive. So even Scam Lifestyle and RSD can post stupid fucking shit as, oh, they get a review. What does a review mean? I'm pretty sure that if they review my boot camp, they'll be like, John is too mean. This is treating like a military boot camp. He's an asshole. He yells at me, but I got laid. That's why it sound like. They may not be happy. They might give me like a lower score. They might be saying, that's a 3 out of 10. John treats it like a fucking military camp, right? This is not Navy SEALs, John. But I got laid, but therefore, or I pulled, right? Then therefore, I still give him what the fuck does the review mean? It means you're a fucking sheep. You got ripped off. They're setting the bar low. Johnny Elite's bar is high. I don't give a fuck how you feel. The bar is set so fucking low. So they only post Tinder testimonials. Correct. How does Tinder count? Tinder is not actually pickup. You're not actually talking with a woman. You're just swiping and displaying white turkey meat. And then the women, like an eBay auction, chooses you because you take good pictures and their woman chooses it. But how the fuck is that pickup? It doesn't count. They should make a separate section for Tinder. If you want to count Tinder testimonials versus other coaches' Tinder stuff, great. But if you want to counter as a student-led testimonials, that's ridiculous. It's not pickup. It's not pickup. So the main thing to understand here is that people like RSD and RSD style variants dating coaches will post bootcamp reviews with zero proof that a student got laid or even pulled. They're like, I learned a lot about my sticking points. Or they crushed it. They turned into a beast. What the fuck does that mean? You crushed it. You turned into a beast. Now this guy is a slayer. What the fuck does that mean? Did they get laid? Yes or no? No, but he turned into a beast. Okay, so he didn't get laid, but he turned into a fucking beast. What the fuck does a beast mean? Like, is he like a beast from X-Men or like a beast like an animal? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you have some fucking common sense, you can look through their testimonials. They did not get laid. If you look at Charisma King and you look at his Asian student, he turned into a beast. Did he get laid? They tried to make it seem like they got laid. They tried to imply it, but they never got laid or pulled. So therefore, he's not a beast. He's been ripped off. He's been gaslighted. He set the bar low. Right? Johnny Elite's bar is high. Their bar is low. They set the bar low. Sorry. All right, so they crushed it. So I have no idea what crushing it means. Like, does it mean like a hydraulic press? They crushed a big object, or they crushed it, or do they mean like, oh, it's like a orange crush, you know, a good soft drink? They crushed it. That's so ridiculous. So you're gonna turn into a beast in day game, or her turn into what does it even fucking mean? Beast. Like an X-Men, right? Beast, right? You're turned into a blue colored beast. It means they're just padding their testimonials since they can't get laid and post testimonials for day game. They only got 3. Don't you see that? How can they say, oh, I got 200 the most? You got nothing. Tinder doesn't count. You see, with these RSD style people and other white dating coaches, even RSD, they didn't get laid on their fucking training for pickup. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I don't mind counting night game testimonials. Once in a while, I do get them. I don't teach night game, but I do have students getting laid at night game using my stuff. So whatever, it's still pickup. But I have way more than ABCs of low self-esteem. They say they're the #1 dating coach for America. Bullshit. I have more laid testimonials than ABCs of low self-esteem. I have 502 laid post testimonials now. I mean, when we compare, they're like, oh, but we got students married, right? Our students got married. Where's your proof? And even if they did get married, a lot of my students got married. A lot of my students are engaged, and some procreated. So what? And they did it through day game without using alcohol, without using fucking night game, with no fucking social skills to allow music and alcohol. They did it through day game. They got married, they procreated. You wouldn't believe how many students procreated already. So stupid. So what are they bragging about? What are they bragging about? Oh, they officiate a wedding. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? That happens to my students all the time too. So if they don't get laid, they'll tell themselves, you know, based on the boot camp, because they have no fucking self-esteem. They say, oh, the coach seems knowledgeable. Knowledgeable? It's like Charisma King, for example. He seems knowledgeable. That means they feel good. Like the coach sounds like he knows what he's saying. But if they're not getting laid, you're getting played. It's that simple. You're getting ripped off. So they always say, oh, I learned a lot about my sticking points. My sticking points. You always see that in the testimonials. Oh, but what the fuck? I learned a lot about my sticking points. My sticking points. Always that fucking sticking points. It's like, okay, I learned what my mistakes are. Are you sure those are the right mistakes? Are you sure Johnny Elite would say those are the mistakes? No. Those are not your sticking points. You got ripped off. all RSD testimonials for their products. Always learn about their sticking points. I don't care about the reviews of the boot camp. I don't care about the sticking points. If you didn't get laid and you didn't fucking pull, you're a fucking disgrace. And that should not count as a testimonial. Because John does not keep the fucking bar low. The bar is so high. Their bar is so low. This is where the cutoff point is. If you get laid, is a testimonial. If you pull, it's still a testimonial. It's a high up here. It's not like down here where it's low. It's like, oh, look at me. I got dates lined up. What the fuck does that mean? You didn't get laid, you fucking asshole. If a student told me they got dates lined up, you're a fucking disgrace. Oh yeah, learn about my sticking point. That's even lower. Or, oh yeah, I got like fucking I changed my mindset. Like, you know, like Asian guy. I got some phone numbers. What the fuck does that mean? If you're not like a pull or a fucking lay, you are a fucking disgrace. In my coaching, it means you're a fucking hard case, impossible case, or unteachable case. You deserve to fail because you're fucking shit mindsets. But look at them. They set their bar low. They need to start taking out testimonials that are just stupid YouTube comments, which is setting the bar way too fucking low. They need to take out stuff that are like, oh, the YouTube comments said they got dates lined up for their products, or they got this. How the fuck can we confirm that these people are even legitimate? Like, for example, Clout, right? How do I know he's even a real person? For all I know, he could be a fucking AI. I will never take a screenshot off of this and just say, oh, if you got laid. They're so desperate for testimonials. They set the bar so fucking low. And they'll always say, oh, I learned a lot of my sticking points. They don't get laid, then guess what happens? Most of you guys will go to MGTOW afterwards. After MGTOW, you're going to go to Thailand and you're going to retire. That's what your goals are. Most RSD victims, most red pill, most Asian masculinity are all going to go to MGTOW eventually. And then when they get older, they're all going to live in Thailand. Oh, John, expose your secret. How does John know this? Oh, you don't think I fucking know your fucking secrets? You fucking losing piece of shit who has like a low fucking standards, worshipping white dating coaches. We never seen a single fucking open to transition to social comfort, to insta-date, to venue changes, to pull, to bedroom escalation, to sex from one single white dating coach, except for one. You guys know it. Name one white dating coach and you'd be like, but what about him? Like Todd V. Nope. He's only posed like 3 times. One time in Las Vegas at nighttime. 2 times he walks in the car. He's never fucking showed any sex, but you assumed it because of white plausibility, white privilege. You believe just because they're white, they're good, but they're not even above 20 or 35 because they're autistic. They're like 19 or 18 out of 35. You fell for it because you're stupid. White applause because you're autistic. You cannot tell that they're using the zombie flow drill. We can look at all the white dating coaches who use the same fucking structure. Statements, her short answer. Question, her short answer. Statements, her short. If we see this pattern, it means they're autistic. They cannot use the corpus callosum, the middle part of the brain that connects the left to right. They can't do 3 steps. They can use game tactics. That's why they like tactics. They don't like skills. They don't have any fucking social skills. They just pour water on her tits. So what can you learn from a white, tall dating coach? Nothing. Minorities that sucking the dicks off of these tall white dating coaches. So stupid. Oh, of course, now they're teaching boot camps in Australia. They're moving there. Maybe they'll get their 4th late testimonial because that place is fucking easy. That place is fucking easy. It's like easy mode before the pandemic. Now it's a little bit harder, but still easy mode. So that's just geomaxing. So if you're from Australia, just train with me. I get a lot of Australian students laid. Many. So the third hidden fact is, so before we post the third hidden fact, we're going to look at the screenshot of the student that got laid from Tinder. I'm just going to read out loud. I don't feel like censoring his name and then doing all that shit. I already posted on my blog. More of you should read it. But however, that's him right here. Okay? So on March 31st, 2022, this is what he says. I got another LQ Why? It means laid. Another lay. And he put lay. That's good. Did you dye your hair? That's what I told him. You can see the haircut helps before without it doesn't work. He put, no, I didn't dye the hair. But yes, it definitely helps. Haircut then. I had to keep my hair maintained. Yes. So before when he had this fucking mushroom bowl cut, it didn't work for him as an Indian. Okay. Now you see why. He put, yeah, big difference. I put whitewash 4 out of 10 and raises looks. It means like as an Indian, if he gets the haircut like Johnny Elite style, then he has a 4 out of 10 perceived natural status. That's what I meant. He put, yeah. I'm giving perfect advice. And he put, yes, you are. You had no lays for self-proclaimed high lay count guy. 0 from him. That's what he said. 8-week mentorship program, high SMV program. Yeah, his advice didn't work. That's what he said. He can't even get testimonials anymore. I put, he has some for black dude, mostly whites, but it's identical to my perceived natural status chart. Lots of whites, 4 blacks, 2 Middle Easterns, 1 Latino, 2 taller whitewash Indians, 1 token Asian. He put, yeah, you have all types of students. And a lot of the students use alcohol. And I put, really? That's not skills. You don't even need it. You can close without it. He put, well, he says it could help with approach anxiety. And I put low. And then he put low. And then I said, until you become addicted like a crutch. He says, that's what happened to him. He had to go to rehab for it. I put, yeah. Yeah, but haircut definitely makes a big difference, he said. Too big of a difference. Yeah, everything you say is accurate. Thank you, sir. I put, no problem. Keep up the good work. He put, thank you, sir, again. Not sure why, but okay. The students that call me sir, right, usually means they submit their ego. The Spanish student no longer calls me sir because he's not submitting. He's a fucking know-it-all. He banged a 2 out of 10 looking black woman before my coaching. Not during my coaching. It's not even impressive. It's like, and he's a good looking 7 out of 10 looking Latino guy, 5'11". Unteachable. But we'll talk more about that in the future. Anyways, I put next class, inner game class will be announced soon. I'll let you know. Okay, thank you. It means inner circle. So, anyways, that was his testimonial, and it's on my blog. So if you want to see his name censored, it's right there somewhere, one of the posts. So what does that tell you? Not everybody gets laid with their 8-week mentorship program. Not everybody. Why bother? Why are they counting all these stupid Tinder testimonials? Tinder doesn't count as your lay count, and Tinder does not count as your testimonials. So the third hidden fact is that they're all posting YouTube comment screenshots now as proof to pad their late testimonials. Even guys who said they got over red pill or black pill. Wait a minute. So you're saying if a person says, thanks to your YouTube channel, I gotten over a red pill. How is that a late testimonial, or how is that a testimonial? A fucking screenshot. Is that reliable? Anyone could be an out. Even Clout over here can be an out. Who the fuck knows? Give a thumbs up if you're learning something. I didn't get too many thumbs up because a lot of you have been brainwashed. But now you can cut through the bullshit. Like I said, I have no beef with him, self-proclaimed high lay count guy. I have no beef with him. I will attack red pill. And I'll flank them. It's not until Johnny Elite says red pill is bullshit before people start listening. We both together took down RSD. It wasn't him or it wasn't me. It took 2 people to take down RSD. But it'll take 2 people to take down red pill. I get what he's trying to do. I get that at least he's trying to get some testimonials and helping people get away from RSD and red pill. Okay, I can respect that. But when he posts the testimonials of fucking Tinder and shows like, oh, I got over red pill or black pill as testimonials, padding it, setting the fucking bar so low. Well, I set the bar so high. Then I have a problem with that. But I don't have any beef with them. It's not like I really want to have beef. Not that I give a shit. I don't. I really don't give a fuck what he thinks. His opinion doesn't matter. But to say that, oh, there's 200 bullshit. mostly just padded testimonials. And Tinder does not count as pickup. Doesn't count. So if you cut down all the students for their 8-week mentorship program and they got laid in a boot camp for night game, then that's just one lay. But he got 100 lays. Nope. Only that one night game lay counts. So he got one lay, not 99. That's just a body count, not a lay count. But he has no day game. Of course not. I mean, what kind of day game skills can he possibly have? I mean, every time he sees the woman, he just laughs because that, eases the pressure. I know that's why he taught the little Indian fuck. What's that gonna happen? You're gonna go out there and pretend you are enough. You're like, fucking 5'4" Indian, like, or 5'5" like my student, skinny fat with a mushroom haircut, and he's gonna be enough and just gonna laugh his way through it and touch his way to victory. Of course not. Mystery method stuff does not work for day game. ABCs of low self-esteem or attraction. Try to use mystery method. They got 6 lay testimonials right here. 6. They don't have any more testimonials now. It's just ABCs or JT is like saying, oh, another student got married. Yeah, can you show me? No. That's what is now. They're starting to gaslight people on TikTok. They're trying to gaslight a younger generation when there are a bunch of warthogs going on TikTok. They just can't wait to gaslight another generation of Asians with their mystery method variants. Mystery does not have a single fucking infill for day game. Mystery does not have a single testimonial for day game. So why the fuck would you listen to mystery method derivatives or variants? Fucking stupid. Oh yeah, more DHV stories, right? The more touching, more laughing, and more fucking, you're moving it forward. You're sexual. Where the fuck is your fucking same day lay infields? No, but I got so many pull infields. Okay, show me one that actually pulls, has a better emasculation in sex. Oh no, that's illegal because you can't do that. Lawyers said, shut the fuck up. Just show us one of them, you fucking asshole. Just show us one. Oh, but you can't do that because it's not only that, you can't record in the bed. Just show us one, you motherfucker. We don't want to see no seeking stupidity lead gen screenshots standing next to 2 women. What the fuck does that mean? You don't see what happened in beginning to the end. You don't. So how is that supposed to be like? You see that? It doesn't connect. So how is that proof? I got the most proof, more than anyone in the whole industry combined. I see no proof. All I see is a bunch of fucking, like pull infields. Nothing happens. How do you know that happens? Oh, got people vouch for me. What, did they walk into the room with you when you're fucking the women, as you supposedly said? Do you have proof of that? Do they actually have the proof? No, but you can't record it because it's illegal. Just show us one thing. Just show us one same day lay. White dating coaches cannot do it because they're not above 20 or 35. That's the truth. So you think they're gods. But I was trained by a lot of white PUAs that are naturals, that are really good looking. They look like male models. They have perfect social skills. They can get laid like nonstop because they have social skills and social calibrations and emotional control. Their game varies. But they have these 3. They're way above 20 out of 35. They're like 25 out of 35. But these white dating coaches, they're not above. If this is making sense, give it a thumbs up. All right. So basically, black pill and red pill gang over it, or fucking stupid screenshots on YouTube cannot count as testimonials. It's fake news, fake game. Those are not late testimonials or polls. Just random mental bullshit. YouTube comments are testimonials now. I mean, imagine Clout says something good about me. Like, oh yeah, I love your coaching, whatever. What, am I supposed to use that as a fucking testimonial? That's setting the bar so fucking low. Here's the bar that's high. Poe is the most minimum for Johnny Elite for a day game. Their bar is so fucking low that any YouTube comments, like if that guy says, oh, I lost some weight by using your day game program or your advice, it's going to be posted. Any hint of anything positive is already a testimonial. It's fake news. You can't just post stupid fucking screenshots. If a student of mine in 2 months gets like a V-shaped body without steroids, a Chinese guy, am I going to post that as a testimonial? in my testimonial section? No, because it doesn't fucking count. Stupid. Fake news. I mean, who knows where the comments come from? It could even be the coach for all we know. I'm not saying that 100% is true. It's just speculation. But I'm just saying it could be. Why would we trust unreliable sources as testimonials? Sure, if they post like their fucking students got laid in a WhatsApp screenshot because they're part of their program, their coaching program, then sure, that is totally 100% legitimate as a testimonial. That's WhatsApp. They're communicating with the students because they got each other's phone numbers. That's real. But a YouTube comment, how can you count a fucking YouTube comment as a fucking testimonial? You can't, can you? So this is key because it doesn't pass the proof check. Sure, if they took a screenshot, right? So that's WhatsApp is great. But did the person get laid? When they write, oh, I got dates lined up because of your product on Tinder, dates lined up. Did the person get laid from the dates lined up? Why is that posted as a testimonial? They need to cut a lot of their testimonials. Everything that's Tinder, cut. Everything that's not day game, cut. They only got 3 day game late testimonials. Maybe they'll have their 4th in Australia when they teach there. Night game, keep it. Day game, keep it. Those 3 and those night games. Tinder, slash. YouTube comments, cut them all out. Any sort of red pill, black pill I got over it, cut it out. How many testimonials do they have? They probably have so few. So that's why I'm teaching you how to decode it. Or they got bootcamp reviews, right? They got product reviews. Who gives a shit? Did they get laid? No. Cut them out. I never used fucking, a coach, the coach is shit when he only posts bootcamp reviews and the students do not get laid, but they learn about their sticking points. Or they say that I know that if I continue down this path, I'm going to get laid. How do you know that? Their stuff did not get you laid during the boot camp. How do you know if you continue down that path then they get burned? And then all the students that want to speak out, they cannot speak out because he'll threaten them. So you say anything about this, I'll fucking... That's what he does to people around him. It's so stupid. So they shut the fuck up and then they go for another coach because they're weak. That's the truth. So who gives a shit? They're just padding testimonials. I know what you're thinking, right? Oh, it's good that they post some sort of testimonials, even if it's Tinder, but it doesn't count. Or reviews, even if they didn't get laid, or YouTube comments. Well, the tricky thing here is that most of the industry does the same thing, except for me. I only post late and post testimonials for day game. Occasional night game happens. Shit happens. Yes, I would include the students that they got late in night game as late testimonials. This is pickup. You're actually picking up women, but never Tinder late testimonials. It doesn't count as pickup. So I'm happy they at least got some kind of student results or limited. But posting nonstop student results or non-students as results or fucking screenshots of YouTube comments, they didn't get laid, or bootcamp reviews, is deceptive. When I see stuff like that, you got my attention, but not in a good way. Not in a good way. So it's a false claim. An avalanche of testimonials. But they never said late testimonials for pickup. No, it just... They start creating this blue ocean. So what's a blue ocean? It means they're trying to create their own fucking category. They're like, oh, Tinder is a new blue ocean. Red ocean means a bunch of sharks are fighting for the scraps in marketing. Blue ocean means a new category. They're just trying to create some fucking blue ocean mental bullshit category. Doesn't even fucking count. Tinder is not anything. Tinder is just displaying white meat on the fucking food app. That's like an eBay auction. And white or other women chooses the white guy more. And because they select better pictures, because some women chooses it, that's just displaying value. That's not pickup. They're just using a flowchart that mostly favors white people. It filters more whites, and they have a hierarchy of student results. Always white. White's right. Stupid. YouTube comments doesn't count. Dates line up. Oh, I got over red pill, black pill. Good for you. I mean, I hate these kind of people. They're like narcissistic. They love to smell their own farts. They delude themselves when not even Tinder lay testimonials counts. It's not pickup. Not even their Tinder lay counts count. In reality, they probably have like 40 or 50 testimonials at most if we count Tinder, but we don't. So there's probably down to like very few if it's just night game. I mean, all I post for all 502 are all lays and posts. I've never posted anything that's not. That's the problem. So I think that's all I want to say. That's all I wanted to say for today. I think it's a good time to ask a few questions before I go. But I hope you guys found this educational so you don't get gaslighted. And I was so busy recently, I was always passing out because I get a lot of inflammation. I'm not sure if it's long COVID or some shit like that. I'm not sure. But it was very painful. So I keep passing out. And maybe I'm going to pass out after this. But that's why I was not here. Every time I want to go on YouTube Live, I was just so fucking exhausted. So I'm here now. I'll be here more often. I'll make an effort. So any final questions that we have before they set the fucking bar low? Any final questions? Johnny Elite bar high, they're bar low. If there's no more questions, then this will be the end of the YouTube Live. Whoa, shit. That's kind of dangerous. I'm not even looking at it. Do you have any guarantees for Elite 30? No, I don't have any guarantees for my products or services because I already have the most student-led testimonials. I never had a refund in my life. They won't buy them, but I feel like testimonials can pay off. All my testimonials are real. None of them are paid off. There's not even one testimonial that's paid off. I have everything documented. Every single student. All these guys, I see their fucking lay pics. I censor them. They have not posted anything about the women they're fucking. If I paid any of the testimonials, it'll fuck up my career. Nobody ever has fake testimonials. If they don't have testimonials, they'll pad it. I don't think there's a single fake lay testimonial anywhere in this industry. It's too risky to have it. So the guarantee is that if you want to guarantee a lay, okay, no matter what, this is how I would do it. I think this is a good thing to talk about. Okay. These are good questions. So for Burger King, how do you guarantee a lay? If we're talking strategically, okay? If you must absolutely get laid no matter what, I'm going to give you the blueprint. Are you ready? Let's go. Number one, all the students that have gotten laid from Elite 30, when you look at the testimonials, they got laid in 1 approach, 3 approach, 6 approaches. But how the fuck is it done? So there's 3 categories, all right, for Burger King. Number 1 is the physical changes. You need to raise your looks and you need to raise your status. So all my students, they wear the same clothing. I'm not saying you have to wear all black like me today, but every single student gets a haircut exactly of my choosing. They all have the same fucking haircut. Every student has the same pants. Every student has the same dress shirt. Every student has the same shoes. If they're short, they wear elevator shoes, whatever. And they all go for a V-shaped body. So number 1 is how fast can you make these physical changes? Some of the students, they take supplementation to reduce their cortisol so that they're more relaxed. Does that make sense? So that's physical changes. Number 2, they all go through a mindset playlist. So when you look at my YouTube, for example, all the students who buy my products, I'll show you the playlist here. So I have 21 videos in here. It's called Unlocking Mindset Playlist. This is a secret playlist by Johnny Elite. All the videos are all military, all scientific, neural pathways, time management, mindsets, habits, some Elon Musk stuff too. They have to go through the playlist. So it's almost like it opens up their mind because they're very stubborn. So number 2 is the mindset playlist. If you need to be guaranteed a lay, Number 3, they all the students who got laid, it's all white here, has built the habits. So all the students that spam approach, if you Burger King were spam approaching, right, RSD style, you bring your RSD habits there and you spam approach, you will not get laid. All my students practice all 30 days in front of the mirror. Day 1, happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe. They spend all day working on their happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe. So they just practice talking like this the entire day, and they go out there and they practice with women. They spend like all day. They spend like 10 fucking hours working on that one skill. Next day, meditative breathing. Learn how to relax nervous system. They spend the entire day doing that 10 breaths, and then they start talking slower and more relaxed and stuff like that. They chill up their whole fucking system. And then they go out there and they apply it all day. So you have to build the neural pathways. It takes 21 days to build a habit. If you want to guarantee a lay, that's how I would do it. If you decided to be lazy and you decide to not practice in the mirror and say, fuck it, I'm just going to spam approach RSD, you will not get laid. If you decide to say, I don't need to change my fashion, I don't like Johnny Leeds' student's haircut or fashion, you will not get laid, Burger King. If you decided to be lazy and just say, I don't want to do the mindset fucking playlist of Johnny Leeds, you will not get laid. So this is the first principle. Every student has gone through the same fucking playlist. They all send me their takeaways. For every video on the playlist, there's 21 videos. They send me exactly 10 takeaways that they learn. Their mindset opens up. When they were stubborn before, now they're teachable. And they can do the 30-day challenge. Most people get laid around the 7th or 8th day of their Elite 30. But Burger King, if you are lazy by anything or you cannot change your fashion, do not buy my course. Do not buy my course. You can just go fuck off and just go to another RSD variant. Do not get laid. Give them a good review. But if you want to guarantee a lay, then you do exactly what I just told you. That'll be like most of the students that did that already gotten laid in one approach. And the Chinese student got laid in 3 approaches. Another Vietnamese student lost his virginity in the last video. 6 approaches to girlfriend, lost his virginity. The black student, 1 approach. Another white student, 1 approach. The Taiwanese guy, less than 10 approaches, 3 lays, 1 fuck buddy. Do you see a pattern here? This is the only way to level up your social skills like a natural. That means use your Skypes. The other thing is that they use their Skypes. Most of the guys that do not use their Skypes do not get laid. If they do get laid, they have some height or some SMV. So can you actually adapt? And here's the best way to understand about my coaching. Okay, let me see if I can find my key here. This is the best way to explain it. All right. So it's kind of like a millionaire. Okay, Burger King. It's like a millionaire. Imagine a millionaire have to carve a key out like this, right? Get it? That's why it takes 10 years for some people to become a millionaire. The first million is hard, but their second million is easy. But it takes a while, a learning curve to carve the key out into that shape, their habits and mindsets. Does that make sense? Physical changes. So for you, Elite 30 carves out your key one day at a time. If you're unwilling to carve it out because you're lazy, Burger King, do not buy my course. This is not for lazy cunts. For the Vietnamese guy, it took him 2 years before he finally did it my way. When he finally listened to me and stopped being lazy, he got laid right away. He practiced for 3 days in a row. So this millionaire concept in carving your key, Kaizen carves your key. Elite 30 carves your key. Why don't people want to do the mirror exercise? It's not awkward. It's because they never heard of this before. The good thing about the mirror, right, is that you can actually see when you're making a mistake. For example, let's say one exercise is not to move your body too much, or like your head. But you look in the mirror and you're doing this, right? Then you're like, oh, I can see my mistake, right? Because I'm moving this too much. But if they don't use a mirror when they day game, they're seeing behind their own eyes. So what do I see? I can see myself in the mirror here, in the screen. So I can see how I'm moving my hands when I'm talking. The problem is that when they're practicing, they don't see how their body is like. So when they're talking like this, they have no idea. It's the same thing with spam approaching with RSD style. They're walking out there without seeing what their body looks like. Does that make sense? So they're reinforcing bad habits. If it takes 21 days to develop a habit, they're literally spending 30 days in a row, every day approaching, reinforcing a bad habit because they can't see the mistake. So it seems weird people don't just do the mirror. Everyone should do the mirror technique. And also another thing is that you can record yourself. You can bounce the camera right off the mirror. So you can practice in front of the mirror and still record yourself. Does that make sense? You can find a way so you can look at it and you can compare it to Elite 30. What are you doing different? So if you see yourself moving your head too much or you're doing something wrong in terms of degrees in your body language, let's say you're supposed to stand 45 degrees and talk to her. Because if you stand 45 degrees, right, like this, it's more comfortable, you know, when you talk to women like this, because you're not, but when you're standing like this, right, it's very intimidating. So when you look in the mirror, you might not be exactly 45. You might be like here, a little bit forward, squaring off. Squaring off creates more approaches that you have to make. Does that make sense? So you can see the mistake. Oh, I got to turn more because John says to turn more 45. So you can correct these issues with the mirror. Why do people not use it? I don't know. People, when you're public speaking, you have to practice before you go out there. If you're playing in the NBA, you got to practice and drill your basics. You got to practice your jump shots. You got to practice your dribbling. But people don't want to do the basics. There's always MMA. You got to practice your components, strike pads, you know, do jiu-jitsu techniques with your partner. But nobody wants to go through the drills. Johnny Lee's Day Game God. Thank you. But you see, nobody wants to do the drills because they believe, Burger King, that if they're out there, they have a better chance of being laid. But in reality, if they have to cut down 100 trees or something, right? You know, if you have to cut down 100 trees, maybe this is what they don't realize. They have a very dull weapon or a dull axe. So when they start trying to cut down the trees, okay, Burger King, it doesn't fall down. So they do more spam approaching. So they do 100 approaches a day. But when you start working on the drills over and over, it becomes a habit. This sharpens for the saw. Eventually, you start to be able to cut down more trees. That means the more you practice in the mirror, the more you record it, and the more you use your Skype and say, John, can you look at my mistakes? You get 2 Skypes now. That's a great deal. That's worth more than the product itself. I charge $600 for 2 Skypes. People pay it. When you practice, and I can see your mistake, that can say, Burger King, you're square. You're not like standing 45. You're squaring off a little bit. You're like, really? Fuck. Or maybe like, oh, you're moving your neck a lot. Or you're not using the triangular flow drill. You're using the autistic flow drill. You're like, oh, fuck, I am. Most people don't know their mistakes, so they reinforce it. So the more they go out there, they think, oh, if I'm out there, I'm going to score more baskets because I'm out there on the field. But that is just as dumb as an MMA fighter who basically does not train or drill it down. And he goes out there in the fighting match, he gets his fucking head knocked off. It's just as dumb as a guy going to war without training, without drills, without practice, without correcting or calibrating. He goes out there in a war. He runs up the hill, gets his head shot off. 99 approaches, RSD style. Every time you do anything that adds more approaches, going direct, validation in the beginning, right here in the beginning, you can see that. This is D for direct, V for validation. You're off the line in the beginning. So anytime that's you face towards her or run towards her to approach, you're off the line. They're always off the line because they're uncalibrated. So the more approaches you have to make means like you are not chopping down the tree. You're not chopping down the tree because it's not going to fall because you're not calibrated. But you think if you're out there more with the axe taking massive action, so they bring the RSD shit. Does that kind of make sense, Burger King? It makes no sense for them not to practice. If my students are getting laid in like 3 approaches, just practicing like that, why doesn't everyone do it? Because they're lazy. They always believe what RSD says, and they don't think they have to do it. And they like to reinforce bad habits. They like to take massive action. They like to SMV it with a big sword. So it's like a samurai that's always swinging their big sword. They're not like ninjas. Ninjas have to rehearse and practice over and over again. So you get these self-proclaimed high leg count guys saying, oh, it's 10% stats or some bullshit. Poljenko this. If it's 10% stats, it means they're 90% autistic. So the real reason Burger King is they don't do it is because they're autistic. Elite 30 is a social skill, social calibration course. It's not a day game course. That's the difference between the playbook. So, for example, all this is about the defense, Boom. Elite 30. It's like Mayweather. You never get hit. You're rejection proof. Perfect body language. It's evolutionary psychology. When you have the perfect body language, it's the alpha male of the tribe. Don't you get it? That's how the naturals are like. They're the alpha male of the fucking tribe. And they're socializing with real social skills, not socializing with validation. This is real naturals, not fake naturals. So they're always sharpening their saw. They're always using the triangular flow drill. So they just have to go out there and collect the lays. Doesn't take long. Real naturals that mentor me. So I'm trying to reverse engineer the 3 traits of a natural: social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, all done practicing in the mirror to level up, because you're not born with it like they are. It's that simple. So if it's that simple, right, it makes a lot of sense. You can't fight in the army if you're not being trained. It's like a Canadian soldier going to Ukraine and fighting for them, and they have no fucking skills. Get off the fucking battlefield. I mean, it's great that you're there, but you're taking massive action. You're going to take massive casualties when you have no skills. This is why they say, 10% stats, 90% uncalibrated. So that's why you need to practice. In Elite 30 is the defense, right? Boom, boom, the stances, getting out of the way, counter it. But the offense, right, is Elite playbook. For example, Elite 30 is jabbing, which is the social skill flow drill. But the right cross is the tease. That's the playbook. The hook punch is the flirt, and the uppercut is also playbook. The tactics are part of the playbook for dating, polling, and what to do in the bedroom. So, I'm a bit chubbier than your students, but I'm leaning down. The very last student that I had, right, the guy who lost his virginity, he's a Vietnamese guy. He lost his virginity. He got a Latina girlfriend. So he got 2 in 1. So what does that mean? Let's take a look at who he is. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's this guy. He's more chubbier than you are, probably. This guy, just look at this. See this guy? He's chubbier than you are. He's short. He's probably shorter than you are and less attractive than you are. But in 6 approaches, when he stopped spam approaching, he got so many. Then he lost his virginity. So that he's Asian, yeah. So I feel like your testimonials are all like lean Asian dudes. No, they're not all lean Asian dudes. They're not all lean Asian dudes. There are some chubby Asian. That I just showed you a chubby Asian. I have other chubby Asians all over the place. If you buy Elite 30, you can ask me how to lose weight. Then that way, I can train you how to intermittent fast, how to use nutrition. You can use 1 or 2 Skypes. I know you feel like you're going to take forever before you train with me, but it might take so long. You could lose a lot of weight in a short amount of time. You can lose all the weight in a very short amount of time, less than 2 weeks, if you do it my way. I myself, I'm doing more intermittent fasting now. So I used to be I gained some weight over COVID, but I lost it again. So it's very easy to lose the weight. But the longer you take, the more you're going to go through more pain trying to do it your way. You should do it my way. And I'm just saying, this is your best shot. Because there's many chubby students. I can go through all of them if you want to see which one are chubby. But don't let this be an excuse. It's about 20 out of 35. Of course you got to lose weight. I'm going to help you. You can dress better too. So let's see, playlist, Asians. Dear Asians. Okay, this guy got 15 lays. He's a little bit chubby too. 1 second. This guy. Although he's kind of tall, but he got 15 lays. He's got a few in my boot camp, and he went over to Asia and he got a few more lays. This guy is he's 40 something. Now he's engaged, but he was chubby too on my boot camp. He got laid, this guy. This guy lost his virginity. He's a little bit chubby. This guy. I'm not chubby. My face is just... Yeah, but you get my point. This guy was very, very chubby, but I had to make him work out a lot. This guy is chubby too. He got laid like nonstop. He lost some weight later on. Started banging more women. I got updated his testimonial. So yeah, there are definitely students that are chubby. This guy pulled a woman home, although I didn't get a lay. He's still chubby too. So there's a lot of Asian students. I'm not saying that it's going to be easier when you're chubby. It's not, because you have a lot going against you, just to be honest. I'm going to be so honest, even if I lose a potential client, I'm going to tell you the truth. You don't want to be chubby because you only got 1 out of 10 perceived natural status when you're whitewashed. You have to be so much better. Your social skills have to be very high. You got to train under me and use your Skypes. You got to practice the flow drill. You got to practice in the mirror. You got to put in a lot of work. If you have any sort of like Asian masculinity or red pill shit in your head, you will struggle. I'm just telling you the truth. But the very last 3 lay testimonials that I had are all Asians. That's all I got to say. It wasn't easy. The other guy, 3 approaches to a lay. He could not approach because he has a girlfriend. He practiced for a whole month in elite access. Like I said, I don't really care about the money. I need to have students that are teachable. Why is the lights all fucked up? I'm looking for teachable students. So your money doesn't mean shit. I'm looking for a type of student that believes in themselves, that knows that they can practice in the mirror. They're not lazy. Then I'll train you. If you are not that kind of person and you have excuses, you cannot raise your value physically, the mindset shift, the habits, and you cannot get above the 20 or 35, I don't want your money. Even the Vietnamese guy, he ran all the game stuff. He's been kicked out of a few courses. He still lost his virginity because he had the habits down, neural pathways. He practiced in the mirror for 3 days, not just 1 day, and went out there. He practiced 3 days in a row, like 30 hours, and then he went out there. He pulled the Latina home, he fingered her. After that, they start dating more, and she became his girlfriend, and then he eventually fucked her and lost his virginity. So nobody said this is going to be easy. But for me, I still get Asian lay testimonials during Omicron. This is something that's not achievable from other dating coaches. ABCs no longer has lay testimonials. Queef and Casanova, who the fuck knows? 7 the last time I checked. Not sure if it's updated. Unfortunately, I have more than all the other coaches. I have like 40. There's actually 41. I'm going to post another one. If self-proclaimed high lay count guy would post like fucking, any testimonials, I'm going to start posting poll testimonials too. Even though I don't think that is very important, let's just post everything. So there's another Asian poll. It'll be 41. Could be more. But let's put them all up there. Let's put them all up there. If he's willing to count bullshit as testimonials. But yeah, like I said, are you the right type of student? I'm looking for a guy who's very coachable, very teachable, and has enough SMV. If you feel like with a body fat percentage or you feel like your height is just not enough, I don't want you as a student. I want somebody who is willing to put in the work, because you're going to go through a lot of hardship. Some of the students, when they're a little bit below that line, they practice a little bit, they get really butthurt over rejections. And then they go in a downward spiral. They just need a little bit longer to get that 21-day habit. If you can't reach that 21 days to build a habit, I don't want you as my student. You might as well lose the weight first, work out a little bit, and just get your head right. And then maybe when you're ready and teachable, and you say, I need to get that lay, John, I'm going to do whatever it takes, and I have to raise my SMV. I'm willing to put in the work. I had a Filipino student who's very slow, and he was always creating a zombie step. Okay, Burger King. Every time I taught him on Elite Access on how to do something, he keeps adding one extra step that's not part of what I taught. So he keeps creating junk algorithms. People like that, unteachable cases, will not get laid. They will not get laid because they need to go slow. So if you're an unteachable case, I cannot train you. If you're an impossible case, you're emotional, but you're eventually able to adapt, and I can. So an extra step is, for example, let's just say the day game stop is that I'm walking this way and I have to look at the women, right? Like this, 1,000, 1,000, right? Then turn my body. And I say, excuse me real quick, I have a question. So for him, it's that simple, right? 1,000, 1,000, turn the body. For him, as soon as he turns, he'll raise his hand up to make a stop sign. When you tell him not to do a stop sign, his feet would be like standing on this way, like the wrong angle, his body, not 45. The next time he does it, he'll turn like facing completely forward at her. You understand that? Every single time he'll make a mistake. And he'll keep piling the mistakes because his brain is designed not to be teachable. Those kind of students, I cannot train. Unteachable cases where they have to do it their way. They're slow, they're mentally slow. They don't get concepts. They're not teachable, coachable. My Spanish student, although he got laid, with a 2 out of 10 black woman before, not my training, but he's not teachable. You tell him something, he also creates a zombie step like that short little Filipino guy. And that short little Filipino guy, he started to gain some weight. At the very end, before I move him to the inner circle, he was eating like a fucking pig. Just nonstop, just eating. And he became chubby as fuck. And he no longer could even get the time of day from the woman. He walk up to her and she gets repulsed. Before that, when he lost a little bit of weight, he used the treadmill. The women all were into him, but he didn't believe in himself. So he didn't walk her home. He didn't go for the Insta date. If you have those kind of problems, I don't want to train you. I'm looking for Navy SEALs. I'm looking for killers. So yeah, all these students that are getting laid, they always have this mindset of being teachable, changeable. They have a skill mindset, not fucking junk algorithms like zombie steps. They believe in themselves and they have a good thoughts and feelings. They don't have this mental bullshit like my Spanish student. He's always thinking about mental bullshit, always has these stupid thoughts, and he always ruins his own fucking life. Because if your thoughts and your feelings are fucked, you're going to manifest fucked up situations. That's how it works for this matrix. It's like a universal chef. And of course, when self-proclaimed high leg count guy says, oh yeah, you got to believe in yourself. He's just talking about the manifestation index. He's just talking about having the right thoughts and the right feelings. But it didn't have the skill index or the teachability or changeability or the belief. So how much harder is it for your Asian students versus white? That's a funny thing. During Omicron, the white students are still struggling because they're not over that line now. They may be good looking and tall, but they're autistic and they're Asperger's. So it's not because the white students are white, they get automatically laid. They still struggle now. I had this Latino guy. He's not a student. He didn't use the Skype. He got 26 lays before, and when Latinos had more SMV. However, since he's a fucking know-it-all, he thinks he knows everything. He doesn't want to use a Skype he doesn't want to drill it down. He's lazy, like most Latino students. Lazy as fucking delusional. Now he got 0 lays. He's a good-looking guy. He's 7 out of 10. Looks are not enough anymore. So it really depends on who can get 20 out of 35. It's nothing to do with the race. It's, are you over the line or below the line? And to get the social skills and social calibrations here, you need to actually build the neural pathways. It takes 21 days. Depends how lazy you are, how teachable you are, how changeable, how much skills, how much belief, and how much your manifestation. Also is grit. Your grit is like your growth mindset, number one. You see with the Latino or Spanish student, he's not teachable. He has to do things his way. There's no other second way to do it, only his way. So he has no growth mindset. It has to be exactly every book. He has to read like his one that he chooses. Number two, the resilience. You need to have resilience. You have to be able to take a fucking punch because it's going to be painful out there. But these guys, they have no resilience. They barely even make an approach. They tell me, John, there's no women here to approach. And then when I say on Elite Access, listen, motherfucker, if you don't approach a woman in 30 seconds on countdown, you're going to get kicked out of this fucking program. 29. And they approach a woman. It's like, there's a woman. Let's do this again. 29, 20. They find another woman. 29, 28. They find another woman. Full of excuses. Those guys without resilience are going to get fucking smoked out there. If you lack resilience and you have half resilience, autism, you can barely do the social skill flow drill. You're lazy. You're going to get destroyed out there. I'm going to be realistic here. My students are like super fucking soldiers. These guys have grit. The next one's called instinct, G-R-I, instinct. Instinct means doing exactly the Johnny Elite way. Physical changes, mindset playlist, and habits. The people that don't have the instincts, like the Spanish guy, I got to do it my way. I think I should do it. I don't think this will be effective. Well, fuck you. And then they see more testimonials and they get like butthurt. He has no instincts. Latinos have this one-track mind. They're stubborn. Those guys will not get laid. They'll get laid before the pandemic, not during it. Or if they get laid, they'll bang a 2 out of 10. So, and the last one's called tenacity. You must be able to finish the fight. You go for the knockout, the win, the lay. So you can see with the grit, right? If you don't go for that, like the Filipino guy, you will not get laid. So when you look at my student results, they are super soldiers. It's a miracle because they worked for it, not because they spam approach more. They spam approach less. They practice more. They built their habits, physical changes. Every fucking point counts. There's no mercy out there. So if you're training under me, you're training under like a Navy SEAL. You're training under the top unit. If you feel like you cannot handle it, then do not take my coaching. There's plenty of other coaches you can use with RSD variants and not get laid. You can feel good. You can pump your state, right? But this is only for serious people that are killers. Navy SEALs, soldiers, special forces, not special needs. Everyone's 6'2", right? Do Asians environment like New York is actually not hard at all. New York is super easy because your logistics are very good. You have to be very whitewashed. You cannot be like Asian wash. Otherwise, you're gonna, you're gonna treat like an Asian carp. They're gonna treat you with racism. You gotta V-shape your body, and you gotta always go for pose and same day lays. That's your best bet. So, always do STDs because you sleep a lot of girls. You get some STDs. Me, I always personally, I don't like getting blood tests, so I don't know how much, like, if I have HIV or not. Let's just say that. I don't want to say anything more. So I'm just living with the fact, trying not to know. If I got HIV, right, then that's fucked up. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to live. But catching STDs is not super easy. But at the same time, I don't know if I have HIV or not. I'm very scared of needles. That's why I didn't vaccinate. So if I have HIV, that'll be fucked up. I don't know. Herpes, I'm not going to say. But catching STDs, it is possible. But it's not super, super easy. But you should be wearing a condom. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of the students are in their 20s. Yes, I use condoms every single time. Sometimes when they break and stuff, because I last a long time, then it is risky. I have to take a shower right away. So what I recommend for you guys is that after sex, all of you should wash your penis with soap. If there's any sort of like viruses on it, you at least wash it down the drain. Always wear a condom because some of my students, they got the women pregnant. The students are unteachable. They're always the bench holds. The guys who are always like, oh, I know everything. I'm right. They never use condoms. And they always think that women's never going to get pregnant. They always get pregnant. Especially Latinas. They're just by looking at Latinas, they can get pregnant. They're very fertile. But I'm just saying, there are so many students that got women pregnant because they didn't wear a fucking condom and they had this special pull-out method. Like they're stupid fucking bench holds. So, does using social stuff with women like SMV and not or TLA? doing the social stuff, right, is under status. Looks, money, status, game, right? So if you did those social skill stuff, it only raised 1 point. So if you're Asian, you're 1 out of 10. It'll make you 2 out of 10. Does that make sense? So there's different categories for status. Number 1 is the perceived natural status. So you want to look whitewashed. Number 2 is like a lifestyle. Number 3, it is your high status job, like your club promoter, a DJ, that kind of stuff. A doctor. Number 4 is a third world money status advantage. If you went to Eastern Europe or you went to Thailand, you have an advantage there for third world money status advantage. Number 5 is like the exotic advantage. Does that make sense? So you can raise your status. Let's say you're a 5'4" Indian, but you're 4 out of 10 for perceived natural status. But by adding these pieces, you can raise your status. But that's only 1 point towards your 20 out of 35. Does doing that lifestyle put you above the line to automatically get laid? No. But it can help give you that 1 point. Does that make sense? I would do it, but you want to make sure your fashion looks good when you're capturing that on Instagram. If your hairstyle looks like a fucking Asian carp, like a mushroom cut, right? It's not going to work because you're still, and you don't want to put any sort of Asian people, right? Like Asian friends, Asian women in their Instagram. White is right. You want to stuff as many white people like a turkey. You want to stuff as many white women or a white guy who are friends. You don't want to stuff Asians. So what did they do? Bench holding. Bench holding means like they think they know everything. They're like, oh, I only listen to you because of this and that, right? I will never listen to you about making money, even though I made like more money than they have in the whole fucking year last month. That's called bench holding. They're know-it-alls. Like, I will only listen to you. I'll cover my ears for everything else. Some of these guys who are bench holding made a lot of money. They made millions of dollars, a small percentage. But over 90-something% of the people, all the bench holding guys, they got the women pregnant. They don't wear condoms, and they're always stuck in life. They always owe a lot of debt. They have no money. They're always broke. The bench holds. They're bench holding. Bench holding in Hindi means sister fucker. The fucking bench holds just cannot stop bench holding. I'm not saying they're fucking their sister, but it's a term. It's a term I invented called bench holding. I know it alls. Who knows it? None. So, is that, believe it or not, that's all they focus on. How many of them have used the Instagram game to boost their? Very few. They don't use their Instagram. That means it's not necessary. Sometimes less is more. So, for example, less is more. If you take away things, it works better. Elon Musk has 5 principles. Principle number 1, like, make the requirements less dumb. This is engineering. Less dumb means less fucking direct, less validation, less romance, less funnels, Instagram. Number 2, eliminate unnecessary steps. Number 3, don't optimize what does not need to be optimized, like funnels, Instagram, direct game. Number 4, reduce the time it takes to get the lay or reduce the production time. Number 5, automate everything. So for you, sometimes you need to take away things to reduce that 100 approaches a day. So you can bring it down to 1, 3, or 6 in lay or less than 10. So by focusing on cutting things, you start to make it more pure. It becomes more calibrated. Does that make sense? I know it sounds counterintuitive, but sometimes more is not more. You feel like with more, you're winning the battle, but you're losing the war. I'll say this again. By adding more shit, you think you're winning the battles, positive reactions, but you're losing the war. So, a hard for us to believe Asian engineer has nothing going on in his life and can get laid, even if he's good social skills. No, social skills, social calibrations. You see that? Right here. So how many points is this? It doesn't mean you, if you don't believe, right, then do not take my coaching, because I got a lot of engineers laid that are Asians. So social skills is 2.5 points, Burger King. Social calibration is the body language thing, evolutionary psychology. How many points is this? 5 points right here. You get it? So if they raise their looks with their fashion, they're like 7 out of 10. They look like they're rich. Out of 5. They have a little bit of lifestyle, but they have like whitewashed, so they fit in her tribe. Plus, they have these points here, and plus they take ashwagandha to improve their chillness. Yes, they do get laid many fucking times. What I find hard to believe is that if you just focus on game tactics, that's 2.5 points, or their game is less. All they teach you is game tactics. How are you supposed to get laid? That's why mostly their testimonials you see are always tall white guys who have like 8 out of 10 looks, square jawline. They're like 6'1" or something. That's why those were most of the testimonials for day game. Is usually some high SMV guy who can fit into a boyfriend-girlfriend frame. So it's not just about good social skills, because if you have good social skills, it's not enough. That's only 2.5 points, even if it's perfect. It's just not enough. So you got to think about which half do you want to take from this chart. You got to think about attacking the half. For my black student, he's working on social calibrations. He has no social skills, but he's tall. He's 6'4". So he's already got the 8 out of 10 race. So he work on mostly like he had no social skills. So he work on game and social calibrations. For him, that's what got him these lays. Other people focus on other halves. So you got to think about which half do you want out of that chart. But if you took ashwagandha, you can still get more chilled, more relaxed with your body language. So do you recommend a virgin to get laid as fast as possible? Buy Elite 30, improve looks? Well, you know how much work it takes to get those 5 points? Are you willing to put in like 21 days or 30 days? If you're not, then get the fuck out of my program. These guys, they practice for like fucking... They practice a lot, man. Some of these guys practice like 5 hours a day in the mirror and a couple hours out there, one day at a time. If you cannot do that, I can't raise your fucking points. If you just want to internalize it, then don't buy my product. You're not going to get laid. You don't even believe in yourself. You're like, I don't believe that. You don't have the mindset to get laid. You're not a Navy SEAL. My other students, they can get as many lays as they want now, if they want to. For them, they finally got rid of their dry spell, so they don't go back and do as much. Because for them, they finally got their lays in. But however, if they don't fucking stop, they can get laid nonstop, but they have to continue practicing. When my students stopped practicing, like the Chinese guy, 2 testimonials back. No, actually, I haven't posted his yet. He started to like lose his skill. So you got to keep practicing in the mirror. I'm sorry, but it takes a lot of work here. It's not work by spam approaching, but work by calibrating. So it's not just, you don't get it. You don't fucking get it. You're not just getting points because of looks. When I dress like a white person, right, in the way I dress, I'm also fitting into her tribe, so I don't deal with xenophobia. Where's the proof that it works? Well, look at my testimonial section then. Look at my site. I have 500 LayPo testimonials. Like 502. Should we go over it all? Proof that it works? Okay, let's do it. Let me change the site back to the front page. Let's go over all the testimonials for David Tang. Or David Idiot. All right, let's do it. All right, let's go over all of John's testimonials, right? This is going to take you at least a couple hours, but let's go through them all. This is not all my testimonials. I haven't even posted all of them. All right, front page. So, all right, cool. I'm sure you have herpes. Yes. But it doesn't pop up that often. I just say that. It only pops up like once every single 5 years. So I'm fine. So what percentage of Asian who got laid with you? I have the most Asian laid testimonials for day game in the world. If you look at my bootcamp page, you compare all the other coaches. Right here, here's 40 of them, mostly lays, a few posts. Queefing Casanova, or ABCs of Attraction, 6 lay testimonials. Queefing 7, other people 5. So John Elite leads the Asians many times over. So what's the problem? David Tang. What are you skeptical about? I basically have more Asian lay testimonials than all of them combined. Where's the proof? Well, we can start to look at the testimonials. There's a Dear Asian section, Dear Indians. So for the Asian testimonials, these are just some of them. I haven't posted them all. I have their lay pics, so don't worry, it's been posted too. Their lay videos. So you help Asians by saying we are worthless, so your calculations off. You know what? I'm tired of your Asian masculinity shit. Is that helping you? The more you go to these forum groups like Red Pill and Asian Masculinity, the less you get laid because your mind's full of shit. You just don't like the fact that all my students have to whitewash and use social skills, social calibrations. And even if they added game, then they'll have all 4 categories. I think you have the most Indian. I do have the most Indian testimonials. I haven't even posted them all yet. There's a lot more I haven't posted. So if they post more, I post more. I'll match testimonial for testimonial. So that's why, they're not going to post more, then I don't post more. But if they want to post more, I post more. It's that simple. There's a lot of guys that gotten laid from my courses that I didn't post yet. I can post a screenshot. So it's quite a few. My friend has a business and just pays for his testimonials off Fiverr. How do I trust yours? I have the lay videos, you asshole. And even the students are even getting laid in front of like people in the boot camps. I have the proof. I have the screenshots. They don't have that. So if they pay for the testimonials, do they have the lay pics? Self-proclaimed high lay count guy does not show the lay pics for his students. I show the lay pics, the lay videos. I have the fucking infields too. I actually have their infields. So therefore, I have all the proof. I have every single bit of proof that they cannot produce. I have the boot camp clips filmed. I have it in the bedroom too. Yeah, I have everything. So they don't have it. In fact, nobody has it. Queefing Casanova may show women being pulled back home, right? But we don't know what happened with the sex. But that's night game. That's not day game. So, but yeah, I got nothing but proof. Whatever masculinity is not real strength. Asian masculinity. Do you have mouth herpes? Mouth herpes. So, mouth herpes. I do not down there it's a little bit like, I think I caught it from this girl. She's like Russian. So she was like, something was happening with her lips. So it's unfortunate, and then I went to the doctors and I was like, how did I get rid of this shit? And it's like, don't worry about it. It's very common. And I was like, what do you mean it's common? They gave me a bunch of medicine or something to put on top of it. Some kind of, you have to put this liquid or whatever on top, this cream thing. And it's like, don't worry, it'll go away. It'll be fine. And it's like, fuck. But it only pops up once every 5 years. You never have to face the struggle. I have. Did I have you? How old do you think I am? I started day game in 2001. I'm not a 22-year-old as I look, or 23. I started from the very beginning. I field tested and split tested every motherfucking system. Every system. From Ross Jeffries, David D'Angelo, ABCs, Mystery, RSD, London Day Game, Justin Wayne, Funnels, every fucking system split tested too. 11 years as a coach. Did I struggle? I've been through too much struggle. You have been through nothing. So after Elite 30, how much time dedicated practice do students need to? I would still try to practice at least 1 hour a day just to maintain the skill. Or most students, they redo Elite 30. So they go back to day 1. So for the black student, after he got his lays, then he went back to day 1, day 2, day 3. And then he got another lays. And then he went back to, he did it 3 times in a row. He just kept extracting one lay after another. As soon as he stopped Elite 30, he went back to tactics, then his lays disappeared. You have a very hypnotic voice. Do you use that NLP pattern? No, I don't. No, I don't. So for a lot of my videos, when you look at the last video, I have like a lot of watch time. So I want to show you guys. I don't know, by the way I'm speaking, it seems to really resonate with people. I have taught a student how to do public speaking. He won first place 3 times before he fucked me over. Made like $2.2 million. I taught him sales. I've never actually studied public speaking. It's all from Elite 30 and also the day game stuff. So I don't know how I do it. I don't have any formal training in public speaking, but it transferred to other people. So, all right, let's look at the statistics. So for the very last video, let's see how many hours was it to see how captivating my voice is. Okay, live. Short Vietnamese student. Okay, so watch time. You can see the video. 93 hours. 411 views. You're like, what the fuck? Why are people so delusional? I don't know. If you're older than 20, how you start in real life, people are just gonna make Charlotte. Dude, if I started day game in 2001, I'm probably older than 20. I think you're just a fucking hater, David Tang, whoever the fuck you are. I'm just tired of hearing like haters and shit like that. You know, I don't want to hear from you. Get off my fucking channel. I mean, it's good to be skeptical and like hating, but I have nothing but evidence and proof. They have evidence, like, but they don't have proof. But you should know that condoms decrease the amount of STDs, but not prevent. You will still catch herpes with condoms. That means the woman, if she's shedding, you have to be able to look very carefully at her vagina if there's any sort of like, you know, shedding. You can still catch herpes that way. Even if she's not shedding or she's like finished shedding, but you can still catch herpes, you know, genital herpes. So it's not 100% for condoms. But I'd rather use condoms and you also take a shower and you wash your dick afterwards. If the condom breaks, you better go right away. Because if she had HIV, HIV is very hard to catch. But it doesn't mean it's like you can't catch it. It's like Russian roulette. It's like 1 out of every 500 chance you'll catch HIV. But it could even be the first time you pull the trigger. Does that make sense? So be very careful about that. But always, for you guys, if you have sex, go take a shower. Wash your dick with soap. After that, put on another condom. Do that every single time. That's my best advice for people. Always, always, always take a shower because the soap is antibacterial. It'll kill viruses. And viruses do not live very long on the surface, except herpes. But the condoms at least reduces chlamydia and also reduces other things like syphilis. So, what's the best condom brand? How you got first lay? I started day game in university, so I went to the lay guide. But my very first lay was like way afterwards. It wasn't like in the very beginning when I started in 2001. It was like usually the first lay was like when K-pop was very popular, Gangnam Style was out, and I started having a huge boost in SMV. Asians became a positive stereotype, then I got laid there like all the time. But before that, it was a big struggle. So the SMV definitely was a big boost. So thank you, Gangnam Style or Psy. But yeah, during the early years, I went through a lot of rejections because a lot of these day game systems do not work. It's more for night game or for white people back then. It used to be easier. It wasn't for Asians, so I had to reinvent the wheel. ABCs did not give any solutions. They're still going direct and using ABC or mystery method. But yeah, what age do you? That I don't want to say, but it's definitely it wasn't early. It wasn't like in university. So, but it was a little bit like, you know, it wasn't like early. That's all I can say that. Before, when I didn't lose my virginity, it pissed me off a lot. So I became like very angry after high school and university. It was very painful. So I became obsessed with learning every style of game, but it wasn't more game. It was more like social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. So because of racism, unfortunately, back then during university, I was using the NLP lay guide. I was talking with women on the bus. I was studying for art school. I would draw women on the bus. And one woman, she told me, right? I said, "Do you find what I'm saying attractive?" Right? She says, "Yes." But do you find me attractive as a person? And she told me, like, I'm just not into Asians. And you get that a lot during university in 2001. There was no Gangnam Style, there was no K-pop, there was nothing. Asians were like second class, third class citizens, not even like considered to be attractive. So it was definitely uphill battle. I'm just telling you, way back then. There was no solutions invented. So I had to go through a lot just to get you this system. I went through hell and back, man. How do you deal with that? Yeah, I got how you deal with that, I don't know, but I became very angry. I used to think everyone was racist, like all the white women before then, before the Gangnam Style. I was wrong. It's just like you need more value and more social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. But you need to stay out of the Asian like out tribe. You have to be more in tribe. They like a V-shaped body. They like a good looking guy and very masculine. They like a guy who's like well dressed, whitewashed, and who has good social skills. That's what that's what helped a lot. And even my uncle, he married a white woman and she's like 5'11". He's only like 5'8" or something. Or 5'9". So he was an accountant. He's dead now. He's died of hepatitis B. But back then it was definitely harder. He had some husband material kind of value. So if you have some husband material kind of thing, is good, the fashion. Because if you're husband material, you're first in line because most women will go through 12 boyfriends before they get married. They'll go through 12 boyfriends. And usually it's a tall white guy. So if you want to jump to the top of the line, be husband material in your fashion and the way you look. And you look rich. You jump the line, it's like a nightclub. You walk right to the front. That's the secret. If you're not husband material and you're just trying to be a fuck boy, then maybe you could add some status here and there. But yeah, is I never said it's gonna be easy. Yeah, I have the most students laid for day game for Asians, but these guys never had it easy. These guys had to go through hell and back. They had to adapt. All the other people are not adapting. The pandemic is harder because the best way to understand the pandemic is like imagine it's like wavy water, right? So before the pandemic, it used to be easy. So what's happening is that the mindsets because of all the COVID, everyone's mindset is fucked because they're always in a fight or flight mode because so many deaths. So when you approach women, if you act like an RSD victim, you're part of the out tribe. Because if you don't have the social skills and social calibrations, then you're auto rejected. So the more you try the spam approach, the more you try to give validation, the more you go direct, the more you get auto rejected. And the more you like, does that make sense? This worked before the pandemic. So if you wanted to approach more before the pandemic, if you're 5'9" or below, right? That's the cutoff height. 5'9" is downhill before the pandemic. 5'8", you have to do 200 more approaches, you can get laid. 5'7", 400. 5'6", 600. I mean, 5'5", right? 800. 5'4", 1,000 approaches extra. But during the pandemic, all this is gone. You have to be exactly 20 out of 35. Does that make sense? Automatic lay. So there's no more that what I call the I had a name for it. This was it was like a crutch before the pandemic. This is why even Latino people who are stubborn, because they're lazy, they don't have social skills, social calibrations, using game tactics. They don't get laid anymore. Yes, I got a Latino student laid in nighttime, a short 5'4" guy, but it wasn't easy. A lot of them are too stubborn. So the pandemic is harder. All the girls who we make out with in 4 years get herpes. No. For herpes, right? You have to be shedding so to get somebody else to have herpes. So what I mean by that is that when you're having a breakout during that time period, you're very contagious. Does that make sense? When it's not breaking out, and stress can cause it too, then you do not pass on the herpes. But there's always a risk. So it's very easy to spread herpes through up here kissing. But you want to make sure you're not shedding. And you always want to look at the woman's lips. Even if she has makeup, you got to make sure there's nothing that's broken here. For a lot of Brazilians, you see them with herpes in Vancouver. You approach Brazilians, they always have a fucking coat sore up there, big fucking herpes. So make sure you're not shedding. That's what I recommend. So it depends on how often you shed. Everyone's different. Some people shed like once a month for herpes. Other people don't shed as much. Some people are asymptomatic. Hope that makes sense. It's not club promoter. Club promoter is not dressed like my students. My students dress like husband material. The stuff you wear is not for nightclubs. And that's the problem because you're not understanding the difference. Imagine you're a soldier, right? The hairstyle is your helmet, is the whitewash helmet. It has nothing to do with club promoter. Fuck club promoters. Your blazer has nothing to do with nightclubs. It is more like husband material. This is not a blazer. This is a suit. You don't wear suits. And what they wear on the inside, dress shirts, is not club promoter. The pants, they all wear a beigey kind of pants. Is a whitewash pants. The kind of stuff that white people wear in California and Newport. And their shoes are not club promoter shoes. It's not some black shiny shoe. So it has nothing to do with that. It's almost like a military boots. That's a military pants. That's a bulletproof vest. Watches, everything is like a rifle. It all supports husband material. So in whitewash. So you're not part of the out tribe. If you're part of the out tribe, you can't even get the time of day during COVID-19 as an Asian. You'd be rejected more than 100 times in a day. So it is more about a military uniform. It's more like you're trying to steal the white man's armor. You're like, what? That's right. You're trying to steal the white man's SMV and utilizing it using the enemies. Of course, I'm not saying white people are the enemy. I have plenty of white students recently. Plenty. So most of the students recently have been white. But you're stealing their SMV and you're using it against the women. You're leveraging it. Like Sun Tzu says, augment your opponent's strength, right? To strengthen your own. So you're stealing the white man's look. The male model, whitewash fashion. Nothing to do with club promoter. Fuck status maxing. You're stealing the white man's armor. So when people think, oh, you're just trying to increase your looks or you're just trying to look like club promoter or nightclub, nothing to do with that. It's just stealing the white man's SMV and being husband material. I mean, all the girls you make. Can you tell us what you're investing in the moment? Right now, I'm not doing too much investment in the markets and stuff like index funds or anything like that. It could be a good investment, I think, like Vanguard and stuff like that. Bitcoin went back up again, which is good. I'm mostly investing in skills, like courses for copywriting and stuff like that. Because I figured that the skills, even if all the money were gone, I believe a recession is coming in 2 months. That means for all of you thinking about buying Elite 30, Elite Bundle, you won't be able to afford it. People like me are already prepared for a recession because I'm so old. I lived through many, many recessions. I'm okay with it. I can outskill the recession. For you guys, I would invest in stuff that when the recession hits, that they cannot take it away. I'm not saying everyone needs to invest in gold, some in Bitcoin, diversify, but invest in things that invest in things that don't disappear. Hope that makes sense. That are not volatile. Things that can weather the storm. You can look it up. That would be a better investment. And for me, skills is something they cannot take away. I want to level my skills and improve it. So it's not about social media. None of that shit matters. If they start saying, here's my status maxing fashion, it has nothing to do with what John Elite teaches. That stuff, no matter what, it wouldn't even work for their students because they don't use the Johnny Lee algorithms of husband material or whitewash. So elite covers, no, it doesn't. But you can use your Skype. You have 2 Skypes. You can ask me about fashion, how to lose weight, what supplements to take to reduce cortisol so you can lose weight. Can we wear the leather jackets? Well, personally, you can, but this one works better. Because when you look at the Asian person and they're devoid of value, like self-proclaimed high leg count guy student, he's not wearing any sort of fashion because this is hitting different areas. So look, for example, if you have this whitewash fashion, you're raising multiple categories. So you're raising the fucking looks category, right? But this is not about looks. Fuck looks. Привет. Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. So I know I have like Russian fans and stuff I can see in my blog and Ukrainians. But dude, you guys should be like a little bit more careful. Get the fuck out of the country. Or it might be just a bot. Does that make sense? So the blazers and all that stuff for the Asians raises their looks, the hairstyle, everything whitewashed. It's not about a good hairstyle. I mean, you might think, oh, I'm gonna use a pompadour like a fucking club promoter. You're gonna get fucking smoked out there. Yes. So So basically, does that make sense? It raises your looks. This raises your money, so you look like you're rich, husband material. So you're actually not just getting the points for the looks, maybe 7. You might get 2 more points for the money. But that's what they don't it's not about influencer. Influencer might not even have any money for their look. They might look like a cheap fucking fuckboy influencer. They might be like 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5 or 0. So the reason why the students wear Rolex looking watches is because women recognize the Rolex. I shouldn't give this away. So it's not about any of the watches to make you look more rich. They recognize iconic things. Like, for example, I wear a belt, right? But my belt is a Versace belt. You see that? Right here, Versace. So therefore, it's recognizable. I should not teach you all this stuff, right? So there's a very specific science to what I do. So all this fashion stuff that they tell you, it's all bullshit. You wouldn't even get laid if you live to be a million because they're status maxing. Their status maxing, if they get any results, is all status maxing. So their fashion advice is all gaslighting. It's all bullshit. You'll never get laid in a trillion years using their advice because they don't fucking know what the fuck they're talking about. It's not about, stop thinking blazers. Think uniform, think value. And for status, right? If you're a whitewash Indian and you're wearing like a whitewash fashion, then you're 4 out of 10. You're no longer 2 out of 10. Bench holding with your fashion. Spasiba. So, anyways, listen. Can you speak English, please? This one's not a Rolex. It just looks like one. But I do have Rolexes. But this one is just a homage, which means like it looks very similar. Certain, I cannot go into too much details. At least you guys know more than other students. That's why you get rewarded for staying here. It's all scientific. It's all about the algorithms and the points. So a whitewash Indian wearing my fashion has a higher status than a guy who's not. He's 2 out of 10. Do you teach Russian? Нет. I mean, no. No, I don't. I just used to live in Ukraine. That's all. So that's why I kind of know it. So fucking Russian people killing Ukrainians. Fuck you guys. So it's very conflicting because you like Russian women. At the same time, you've dated so many Russian women and Ukrainians, and they're killing each other. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like China hates Taiwan. It's like India hates Pakistanis. But they're almost the same race, you know? Like, stupid. One of your students gets into a convo with girls, right? They don't get AMOG'd when they're dressing whitewashed. Nobody fucks with my students' body language because they're more alpha. It doesn't happen. It only happens when you're dressed like an ABC of a low self-esteem student. So, yes. Suka bilet. I gotta stop speaking Russian. Maybe I speak with a Russian accent. But do you see the point? It's like you're raising your value because you're like, overall. So the fashion raises the value in many points, but you still need a V-shaped body because evolutionary psychology, what's the biggest part of a woman is her hips, the waist to hip ratio. And the very biggest part of a guy is the shoulders or the upper area to the waist. So by increasing this, right, with your blazers and everything, you raise a lot of points. And plus, my students also wear elevator shoes. I won't say what shoes they wear exactly, but they wear elevator shoes if they're below 5'9". So they don't want to face a battle of downhill battle or uphill battle. Everything is scientific. Everything is scientific. They're like a perfect soldier for the body armor. At least in China isn't invading time. Yeah, just wait and see, right? Just give them time. Give them some time. What if Russia succeeds? China is going to be doing that, and Russia's going to reinforce them. So, how many of your students are virgins? I would say a small percentage are virgins, but there are definitely some virgin students right now, and they go through a lot of neediness and a lot of bitterness. That's turning off women. They always like lay. That's why they never practice in the mirror. The guy, he likes his spam approach because he's always thinking lay. He's like thirsty and desperate. I recommend don't be thirsty and don't be desperate. Pretend that you're willing to walk away. That's my best advice for virgins. And take so much ashwagandha until you're chilled. Until you still relax, you're not needy. You're always like, no worries. Whatever, right? Willing to walk. Then she'll be more hooked because it's more alpha. You start showing the attitude of the simping. You start acting like you're all thirsty. Then guess what happens? She's not attracted to you. Then what? You start giving validation, start going direct, you start complimenting. She's gone. You have no fucking value. You're not here to increase the approaches. Anything that increases the approaches, like 100 approaches a day, going direct, validation, nonstop THV stories, funnels, romance, retarded. So, So, but I also like Russian women, so I like them both. They both look a little bit different. Ukrainians are more skinny. Russian women have like big thighs and stuff, and they're like, they eat more. They're both attractive. One's prettier, the other one's more beautiful. So what does a convo look like if you have nothing in common with a girl and no cool hobbies? You don't get it because the social skill flow drill does not depend upon what you're trying to do to impress her. You can take the words that she's using and then you can use it in such a way with the social skill flow drill, you can extract more and more of her talking. So, like they say for the art of war for Sun Tzu, never interrupt an enemy when they're making a mistake. So the more she's willing to open up, the more things you can use to get her to open up. There's a structure. I will not teach it to you here. I'll teach it only on the Skype. But the triangular flow drill repeated extracts more conversations. And the more she talks, the more she likes you and trusts you and willing to go home with you. This is why the other coaches, when they're using the statements and then her talking a little bit, questions, her talking a little bit, it's not that they don't talk about themselves. They talk about the topic, right? In their experience with it, but they don't go right to questions or statements. It's very complicated. I would not want to discuss it here because I'd like to keep some of the secret sauce away from the YouTube live. But they use a triangular flow drill over and over, extracts conversations. They tease whenever she gives them attitude and flirt in between when she talks more. It's like a rock, paper, and scissor game. You need a lot of observation. It's not easy. And the women, she always gives you all the openings that you can use. So therefore, you don't have to try to use threads, DHV stories. You don't have to use like trying to impress her, self-amusement, none of that shit. Statement. It's like she's feeding you. She's telling you exactly where to aim, where to penetrate over and over. But most people cannot observe that. So they don't know how to use it. That's why they're autistic. It takes a lot of skills to stick with one thread, not 5. And it works even better. If I'm so wrong, then why do I have 500 LAPO testimonials? A self-proclaimed high lay count guy only has 3, because mystery method does not work. John is known internationally. Oh, cool. These things not talk about themselves. You know what? This is going for a long time. Let's just answer the last few questions. I want to make sure that you guys have some of the answers. Slight language barrier a problem? In what context are you talking about by language barrier? Are you talking about if you went over to a South American country, or maybe a woman like that showed up? Or are you talking about like that you cannot speak English well? Because it really depends. Are you talking about the woman who's ESL, or are you talking about yourself? Why are you Asian and only small percentage? It's like because the audience. No, I mean I have a lot of students that lost their virginity, believe it or not. So if you look at the virginity, go to my front page, johnnyelite.com, right? See how many of the students say virgin. So it really depends. So I'll send you a link here. Check out the front page. Just scroll down and look at the testimonials. I have way more I've not posted yet. So johnnyelite.com. So just see which ones are the virgins. Some of my students would be more Asian virgins, but why so many black in Hispanic plays? I don't know what you're asking. I assume a lot of your students would be Asian virgins, but there's a lot of Asian virgins and Asian lays too. So, unlike other dating coaches. Okay, cannot speak English fluently. Well, think about it this way, okay? It doesn't matter what your accent is, and I'll tell you why. If you're Indian, for example, like a lot of my Indian students, right? What happens is they may have an Indian accent, okay? Let's just use that as an example. But however, when they dress Indian, right? They have the hairstyle as Indians. What happens is they get auto rejected. Does that make sense? They get auto rejected. So, because they compare the look with the accent. Let's say, for example, you're blackwashed. You look like a black guy, okay? What happens is you look like a black guy, but you have an Indian accent. They'll think you're black because they cannot pair the accent. Does that make sense? So if you're whitewashed and you're Asian, they cannot pair the accent that you are like Chinese or China. Does that make sense? So in a lot of ways, by being whitewashed, you have a huge tactical advantage. Does that make sense? You have a huge tactical, as long as they cannot pair your race with your accent. But if you look like an Asian wash, right, and you have an Asian accent, then you are part of the negative stereotype. They're going to think Wuhan wash or something. Does that make sense? They're going to assume it's a negative stereotype. So you want to make sure, and to fix that, that's why it's about whitewashing. So in the fashion, for example, when my students look whitewashed, they're part of the in tribe. So they never have to experience xenophobia. So if you can dress whitewash, have a good body language, she cannot, in her mind, pair that you're part of the negative out tribe. Yes. So it's like evolutionary psychology. So you may have a tribe in here, right? Does that make sense? But they're part of the out tribe. So you don't trust people from the out tribe. Even the Russians now are part of the out tribe. After the world events, Russian people, their SMV has gone from high to 0 now. Nobody trusts Russians. Even Russian businesses now are like, people are throwing like rocks or fucking spray painting the outside of the buildings. We have Ukrainian and Russian restaurants here in Vancouver, but they're just fucking spray painting and throwing rocks at them and breaking their store. So you can see, even with Latinos, if they're going through the border in Texas, people feel like they're part of the out tribe. You get it? Because they're getting scared. That can lower your SMV. World events can lower your SMV. So you never want to pair yourself with the accent, with the negative stereotype. That's why whitewash, right? So therefore, what I mean lies? You're the one, your country is the one who lies nonstop with bullshit. It's just like propaganda. Sukabilid. Anyways, let's continue. It's finizia. Let's continue. All right. So basically, as I was saying, anyways, you can check out my front page for all the testimonials. But I hope you guys learned something. I'm just fucking tired of this fucking. Last words to someone who's on the fence about buying. Just look at my testimonials, okay? Go to my site right now and just look at. They're all real. You can see the lay pics too. So, and if you do buy it, don't forget, you have to actually do all the steps. If you don't do all the steps and use the Skypes and you're not open-minded or teachable, then maybe you should not buy my product. This is only for people that wants to get laid. They're all real. Marco over here is one of the guys who are lay testimonials. If you look at Marco Pettino, right? He's in the comment section. He got like 4 lays here. And he has 2 girlfriends at the same time before the pandemic. So that's one of the students I see right now. Russian value not low. Yeah, but you think anyone right now in America is going to be like, oh yeah, we just can't wait to. They're going to have xenophobia. They're going to have xenophobia because of all the bloodshed you guys have done. You think it's still 10 out of 10? I might lower a little bit. I mean, you're fucking massacring. You war criminals are massacring Ukrainians. What the? You think that's not going to lower your SMV? You think that's going to raise your SMV? Come on now. It's just so stupid. The comment is retarded. You don't. I think it's going to lower your SMV. I think a lot of people are going to be very afraid. They're afraid of the Asians. They beat up the Asians. But I did not do it. Anti-white. I'm not anti-white. I'm related to whites. I used to live in Ukraine, asshole. So I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not anti-white. I have a lot of white students. I'm just saying as it is. I'm saying Latino SMV is no longer 7 out of 10. I'm saying it's 6 out of 10 now. The longer this Biden thing goes on, it'll become 5 out of 10. It's just the truth. People do not like the out tribe. You're part of the out tribe. Even the Chinese are part of the out tribe. It's true. I mean, during the beginning of COVID, they blamed the wet market. They thought the Chinese people transmitted COVID because of the wet market. So their SMV went down. Asians have been treated terribly. Exactly. But then afterwards, they thought it was the Wuhan lab, right? On the news. Then people forgiven the Asians. They're still being beaten up by black people in New York. But however, they're no longer like blamed as much as before because of the Wuhan lab theory instead of the wet market theory. So you can see how your SMV can change. Just like how K-pop really boosted my SMV, my sexual market value. They create a positive stereotype. So positive stereotype and negative stereotypes can change very, very quickly due to the news. So it's not about, oh, it's the media's fault. Just don't be part of the out tribe. Dress whitewashed. It's that simple. That's the secret. Not about influencer, not about fucking promoter, none of that fucking shit. Be whitewashed. Like my students. Stay the fuck out of the out tribe. It's just evolutionary psychology. It's like that since the caveman days. Do Asian students of yours dress K-pop? No, they do not. I only know one student who did it, but they do not dress K-pop. They dress whitewashed. If they're like a pretty boy type, then they'll still be dressing whitewashed. They'll look a little bit K-pop, but they do not dress K-pop. No. So, and besides, it's not going to work during a pandemic because a lot of these guys are not pretty boy types. They're not good enough to be a K-pop artist in looks. I have one student that did look like that, but he's still very whitewashed. You dress very whitewashed. So you want to whitewash. If you want to have a little bit of a K-pop kind of, I don't dye my hair to look K-pop. It's just to get rid of the white hairs. Most of my hair is actually white, half of them, because I'm older. I'm not 23 or 24. I'm actually like, I'm much older. I'm a first generation pickup artist, 2001 motherfucker, OG, original gangsta. So I just don't physically age. But me and ABCs, right? We might be even the same age, for all you know. Me and JT Trent might be almost the same age. So no, they don't dress K-pop. I'm not saying yes or no, that's true. I'm not going to confirm or deny it. But I could be a lot older than I look. So he's second generation pickup artist. Mystery derivative. I'm not the same age as Mystery, but that's all I gotta say. I just don't physically age. So, and this is all about functional. It's not about K-pop. It's just, yo, what's your skin routine? I don't have a skin routine. It's just genetics. So, why do some people age faster than others? Basically, imagine it's like I'm done with cough medicine, but you saw the candy wrapper, right? Medicine in 2 wrappers. On the side's called the telomeres. The telomeres, the longer your telomeres is, the less you age, the younger you look. Right? So this is like genetic science. So for me, I have longer telomeres. When it shortens during your lifespan, right, you start to age. One thing you can see about aging is like if your skin snaps back or not. You see that? For older guys, the skin will hold like this for 30 seconds and they'll snap back. Look at my skin. It's very elastic. You see that? It's almost like I'm a 20-year-old. My skin is very elastic. So that's why I don't have wrinkles. Because the telomeres and stuff like that. That's how I keep my age like younger looking. And I do some intermittent fasting. But I take a lot of supplementation for vitamins. I take these gummy vitamins. I take like 4 or 5 at a time. I know you're only supposed to take 1, but I take like 5 a day. It's all natural. Yes, it's all natural. There is no like surgery. There's no Botox. It's all natural. See, there's 100% natural. It's just how I'm built. I don't physically. I'm probably younger looking than my cousins now. They're much younger than me. I still look like in my 20s. They're probably like up there in age now. So I haven't seen them in a while, but see, there's no wrinkles. You can see the wrinkles if I do this, but it disappears. There's no wrinkles underneath the eyes. So you don't, in all the hairs too. I still have my hairs intact, right? After all these years. Yes, I do take supplementation for my hair. I've restored the hairline. So there are things you can do for the hair. Cortisol will kill your hair. A lot of cortisol, stress will kill your hair. But the only thing that's aging for me is my it is the white hairs. That's why I like to cover it. I think this is long enough for the YouTube live. I know I haven't been here for a while, but it's good that I'm finally here. I was just so tired. I got a lot of inflammation recently. Maybe it's an age thing or it's a long COVID. But anyways, thank you for being here and for Burger King. If you train with me, just look at my testimonials first. Look at they all have like a lot of them have Lapex. Self-proclaimed high leg count guy, you don't see that from the stands. And like I said, you may not be suitable right now, but when your mindsets change and you're teachable, then you're ready. Maybe right now you're not ready for my Elite 30 because you still need to lose weight. You still don't believe in yourself. You're still skeptical. You know, even though I just posted 2 more testimonials of students from boot camps. That was like 2015. 2 posts. I'm going to post like 4 more later soon. So that's the funny thing. I've been teaching for like 11 years. Like, holy shit, 11 years? Yeah. A lot in boot camps and stuff. I've been a dating coach for 11 years. It's not like I just started recently. I'm an old timer. I'm interested. I'm worried about the inflammation of currency. Oh, inflation of currency. You can pay the course, but can't wait to start it. Well, think about it this way. In 2 months in May, the Federal Reserve will tighten the monetary policy and raise the interest rates. So therefore, they're going to risk a recession in order to reduce the inflation. So now is the best time to get the course within these 2 months. Otherwise, your money is going to be worthless. Cash is trash. So right now, you want to invest. And when you invest in it, use up all your Skypes. A lot of people don't like to use their Skypes because they're know-it-alls. I'll use every fucking Skype and I'll try to extract every bit of information out of my brain. And you do the habits. Auto lay, 20 out of 35. So I would say, guys, like who are worried about this inflation, it's going to get worse. I hate to tell you guys. Inflation in 2 months is going to get worse. I'm preparing my business for a recession. My business is pandemic proof and recession proof. So, do you accept cryptocurrency then? Right now, I'm not going to accept cryptocurrency. I don't know about the stability because the government, like United States government, wants to release their own coin. Other people might have to transfer the cryptocurrency to the US. Right now, I don't want to accept cryptocurrency. Although I don't mind it. Right now, I just don't want to accept it. So I'd rather accept cash. I like USD. So when I transfer to Canada or Canadian money, I get way more. The exchange rate is really good right now. So, but I'm saying, I know a lot of you want to train with me, but if you make the investment and you use your Skypes, I'll put everything into your training, everything that I know. As long as you put in the work. You guys say, John, I'm emotionally investing. Use up all your Skypes. Use up all 7 Skypes. So, do you know how long it lasts for? 8 years. Already 3 years went by. I'm sorry, but it's not going away. They're going to want to keep this up all the time. The variants and stuff, it's very transmissible, even with 2 boosters. So my prediction is 8 years. So if you guys don't invest now, right, inflation is going to hit. It's going to last for a while. Inflation is going to last for like maybe a year. It's going to go back down eventually. And then, yeah. So like I said, you can Google or you can YouTube, see if the Federal Reserve is willing to raise the interest rates and stop the stimulus. Right now, right, you can still get a job just fine, but just your money is worthless. It's worthless. So it's kind of like when I went to the Eastern European countries, their currency is worthless. It's the same thing that's going to happen to you guys. So the more you have these big plans, right, like build back better, all this stuff, it's just going to raise inflation. The more they spend, the more inflation goes up. The more they print money. It's just catching up now. So 8 years. My prediction. Right now is already 3 years. 5 more years. So you got to learn how to live with it. And this is the only day game system that's still completely getting late testimonials despite the variance. Just one. Nothing stops my day game system because social skill, social calibrations never expires. But the job market is already bad, right? From COVID. It is already bad. Some of the jobs came back for the jobs report. But even if you got the job again, right? Like, because they're always looking to hire and they're trying to pay more for wages. But the biggest problem is that your currency, no matter what you make from the job, they're already like 8% or 7.9 for the inflation, right? So even if you make the more money, they give you more money, it does not cover the inflation. So even if you're saving the money in the bank, the inflation will kill any sort of gains you can get from interest rates. Does that make sense? So therefore, investing now is a good time. Elite 30, Elite Playbook. If you invest, right, I'll teach you everything I know. You better start practice. You better treat it like it's gold because it is. The Skypes and everything. You get to talk to me back and forth like here. Things will open up. Not your neural pathways or your RSD mental filter. But yes, inflation is coming. That's my prediction. I've always been right about my predictions. I've always been accurate. 8 years. 7, 8. 2 months from now, 2 or 3. You will never see an inflation like this. And we'll be in the recession. That's why I'm already doubling down on my copywriting skills and my abilities. So that way my business can weather the storm. My business is pandemic proof. but it needs to be more recession proof. So you're right. Investing in a course is the best move. It's always last. You have it for the rest of your life because I'm hosting the course on the Google Drive. It's always going to be there. If I try to host it on like Kajabi or something like that, who knows how long they'll last? They might even last 10 years or something and they're gone. Or other courses like, you know, those places that holds the courses, Teachable, who knows how long they're going to last? Plus, I have to pay like over 1,000 something per year just to host it there. But over here, and plus you get me on Skype. You're investing in Johnny Elite small businesses. And the more students I get laid, the more students I get. That's how my business model works. That's why I keep posting testimonials. They're all real. There's not a single one of them that is not real. Every single one is real. Look at the evidence. How the fuck do you get lay pics from Fiverr? You can't. How the fuck do you get testimonials? How the fuck do you get like sex videos? How the fuck do you get the conversations like that? How the fuck do you have infields? You can't. It's all real. And self-proclaimed highly account guy never posted their students' results. So how? I mean, I'm not implying anything, but where the fuck are their student lays from Tinder? They're 8 out of 10s or 9 out of 10s. I don't see it. So any discount for no discounts. I don't do discounts because if the other people are giving a 50% discount, then that's the real price of their course, their value. The reason why I leave it at this price is because the people that emotionally invest, they're going to fucking do it. They're actually going to fucking do it. Because for them, if it's a big sum of money, they better use their investments because they're investing in something that is like a skill, a life skill. Of course, they're going to invest. They're going to be like doing it. If you get it for cheaper, right? Like a book or something. For example, I give you a free book. You're not going to take it. You're not going to read it because you didn't emotionally invest because you didn't invest. Hope that makes sense. So it makes a lot of sense. That's the weird thing. People implement when they pay more. I should be raising the price of the course, not lowering it. I'm just going to keep it the same, 7 Skypes. And that's the funny thing is these know-it-alls don't use up all their Skypes. If I were you and you were smart, I will use, as soon as I go through Elite 30 past day 12, use your first Skype. Most of the students that got laid, believe it or not, use their Skypes. When you look at the first principles, when you look at all the testimonials, they all use their fucking Skypes because they're coachable. If you try to watch the course from your own neural pathways and say, here's my RSD spam approaching shit, and you try to look at my course and you try to rationalize it like this fucking Latino fuck, you're not going to get laid because this is your own fucking neural pathways, your own mental filter. You need new habits. But I thought all your students don't accept. I'm willing to accept students for the Elite bundle, but I will not accept all students for Elite Access or Kaizen or 3 months to proficiency or boot camps if you're not teachable. I don't have the time for that. So Elite bundle, go ahead, join it. Latino or not, even though you're like fucking unteachable. But if you want to join Kaizen, fuck off if you're not teachable. I don't have time to deal with fucking bench holds and RSD victims with their mental filter bullshit. I got to build some neural pathways, some habits in you. It takes 21 days to build a new habit. 21 days. If you can't get through 21 days and you're just rationalizing and spam approaching with half resilience, you're not going to get laid. It's a game of skill. It's a game of habits, not tactics. It does not depend on a student's height. You can see a lot of the Latino guy, 5'4", got laid. You saw the recent guy, 5'8". There's obviously some tall students that get laid, but they come in all heights. 5'7", 5'4", like the other Indian guy, 5'5". So there's no height, but the thing is that if you're shorter, you have to be better. That means you need more social skills and social calibrations. But the taller guys did not have an advantage. Even white students. Everyone no longer has advantage after Omicron. After Omicron, like everyone got wiped out. Only my students are getting late for day game. There might be a few others, like another Jewish guy who has very good looking tall white students who just needs the 2 points to get over the line. But everyone else is not getting late testimonials that easily now. They might have gotten before in lockdown 3, lockdown 2. My one works for every variant, but you actually have to build the neural pathways. There's no shortcut. There's no half-assing it. There's no like spam approaching. You actually have to practice in the mirror. I hate the fact that, I have to tell you guys this, but all the students have used their Skypes, have all practiced in the mirror, have all made physical changes, hairstyle, have done the mindset playlist. There's no shortcuts. This is a game of skill, 20 out of 35. If you're shorter, you need to compensate in other areas. Status maxing is not going to be enough because most of you are not club promoters and most of you are not DJs. If you want to raise your high status job, your lifestyle, that's 2 points. But that's not enough. Here's 5 points. Social skills, social calibrations, 5 points. This has to be earned. This is something that other dating coaches do not understand because they're autistic. They're cringy. They're like using game tactics. They don't understand this stuff. So, of course, it's not impossible. Like I said, there are so many testimonials of short students. I can show you some. Okay, let's take a look. This guy, 5'8", top guy. Here, let me just. This guy, former self-proclaimed high lake guy student, 5'5", Indian. 5'5", Spanish student, right here. 52-year-old guy bangs a 21-year-old. He'd bang like 2 21-year-old, 125. First approach, all 3 of them. I have his lay pics and everything. I'll just censor it. 5'7". No looks, no height, big belly. But my fashion, husband material, any sort of fashion he does himself does not work. Wealth max appears to be a good idea. It's not wealth max. It's whitewashing. Whitewash. Husband material. It's not just about looking rich because you have to be very specific on how you look rich. But you see that? If this bald fuck, right, 5'7", German student, he's fucking women a lot more attractive than whatever other students can get in day game. He fucked at 8.5 out of 10. I have her pictures. I have his sex audio too. He fucked like another Persian chick. She's like 7.6 out of 10. She looks like a Latina. She's really pretty. The last one had an okay face, but good body. This guy is fucking women hotter than dating coaches in Germany, like Don John. He's 5'7". He's bald. He's ugly. He has no chin. He has no jawline. He was not getting laid in 2020 when he only used game. When he went back to Kaizen, he took the course twice. The habits. He got laid 3 in a row, man. Holy shit. It was ruthless when I taught him. I made him pinch his nipples if he fucked it up. We knew that had to be done. It was not human. It was like Navy SEALs. He made no excuses like before. My God, 3 lays in a row. Now he's happy. He quit game. He already got his goals in life. He's 52 years old. He just wanted to bang a 20-year-old like his friend did in Kaizen, a tall white guy with balding hair. Oh, here's him again. This is a 25-year-old that he fucked. 5'7", bald, fat. But he's white, so he has a 10 out of 10 perceived natural status. Here's him fucking the first one, which is a 8.5 out of 10. This Indian guy is 5'7". He lost his virginity. This guy is 5'7" too, a bald guy. Middle Eastern. He didn't get any lays. He bought self-proclaimed high lay count guy course, RSD courses, 0 lays. He only got a few lays from girlfriends from social circle. But my God, he just kept getting laid under Elite 30. He practiced all day, like 15 hours or more. I think like he wakes up, he practiced in the mirror for 10 hours. He practiced in his social circle, and then he practiced an hour or 2 out there cold approach. within 1 week, he already got laid. Yeah, he's getting a blowjob here and he's fucking this woman, but I had to censor the pics. You can see it. See? Yeah, he fucked a blonde woman. Second time, he fingered another woman. He could not get it up. Third time, he was about to fuck a model, but then her boyfriend got out of jail, and they came after him, and he knocked somebody's eye out. Then they stabbed him in the chest 3 times. And then he went to Turkey. He moved to a different place for protection. So, funny, another Middle Eastern stabbed him, Somalians. But he's 5'7", bald. This guy lost his virginity, this Asian. He's 5'7". So he finally made his approaches. He was scared. I pushed him. And this is another Indian guy. He's 5'7". I think he's up to like 6 lays or something from India. This guy. Yeah. This guy's 5'5". He had 3 fuck buddies. 2 of them were models. He's from London. This guy. He's actually a pretty boy type, so it helps. But he didn't get any lays before that for day game. This guy's 5'7", Filipino. This guy had multiple fuck buddies with white women and Latinas afterwards. This guy's 5'4", Filipino. This guy. He lost his virginity and he got like 2 back-to-back same day lays. I think one same day lay and the other one just a day 2, but they're weeks apart. So this guy's a 5'8". He's like former ABCs of attraction student. He pulled on the boot camp. This guy lost his virginity too. I think he's 5'8". He's from Australia. I had to change the video because he was getting a blowjob in it and couldn't post it. This guy has 60 lays on Tinder. Does not count. One night game, bar game. 5'7", or he's 5'8". Australian gets laid. He's 5'8". This guy, short guy from Vancouver, 5'7". 3 fuck buddies. So short is it's not impossible. This guy's like 5'6", but he wore my elevator shoes. He pulled 2 women home, 2 Russians, and he didn't close because that's the mother and daughter. This Asian guy in Europe, this is in Poland when I filmed it, pretty boy type, is in Warsaw. He got 7 lays or something, really hot girls. This guy pulled, he was an ABCs of attraction victim. He's going there. This guy, I think, is 5'7", 5'8", 5'7". He fucked a woman in the bathroom. This Indian student just kept getting laid in Australia, and he quit eventually because he got too many lays. He's Indian guy, 5'7". This guy is 5'4", I believe. Bald Indian guy. He got a girlfriend, couple lays under my coaching. What about starting a connection with a girl by money, then switching to emotion? I don't even know what you mean by money. What do you mean by money? I don't understand. Another Indian student got quite a few lays here. He's 5'7". Another student, he's 5'6". He pulled on the boot camp a couple of times, but he eventually got laid back at home in the United States. Indian guy, chubby. So 5'7" German guy. He got 2 girlfriends, but he was pissed off because he didn't get a same day lay. Stubborn. Another 5 foot, I think he's 5'8", 17-year-old student. He got a blowjob from older women and also like a 18-year-old girlfriend in high school. 5'7" Latino. He bangs a 6'2" woman. He always wanted a blonde woman, white woman, his dream. He got 0 lays because of RSD. He also got a super fucking hot Latina girlfriend, Colombian. She's like 8.5 out of 10. So 5'7" Filipino student. on the boot camp. He got laid. Or half Filipino, 40 years old. 5'7" Filipino student. This is just his first testimonial. The next one has even more lays. He lost more weight. 5'7", 50-year-old man, the bald guy. That's his first lay. Was his girlfriend, a Ukrainian girlfriend. And for him, she was younger than him, better looking, but that's before he got to 20-year-olds. So 5'8", no, he's 5'9" Korean student, many lays, like, I don't know, 6 lays, 1 girlfriend. A 5'7" student in Thailand, many lays. With a girl paying for her, and because you are wealthy, you can change all that. Well, I think the Vietnamese student did something like that. He was kind of rich because he got a new job. So he had survival value. It can be done, but it doesn't mean you have to do it like that. You don't have to pay a woman anything. You don't have to pay women anything. 5'4" Filipino guy, 150 lays. Right here. Yeah, he has 150 lays. He's from Australia. I taught him when he was at 33 lays or something. And he got all the way up to 150. And he went to another coach afterwards. That was the end of the coaching. But he was the easy case. He had perfect social skills, exact fashion that I have, good social calibrations. Emotionally, he's kind of okay, but his game was lacking. So I just taught him that. But after 150 lays, man. And he's banging like strippers and women who are taller than him. I'm just saying, it was legendary. They don't avoid taller girls. This guy's, you can see him right here. He's banging strippers and women much taller than him. This guy, Filipino guy. But he got in the news because he was posting all the lay pics and videos on the fucking forum groups. I told him not to. When he was coaching with me, he became like a superstar. And then he was on the news saying that these guys were posting pictures of women nude in the forum groups. He lost his job, but he still kept the other one. So that's fucked up. You gotta think about these things. That's why it's very important to censor this guy is 5 foot, I think 5'6", 5'5" Filipino. Former, he's in Toronto, but he was a former Queefing Casanova student. Yeah, he got laid from Queefing Casanova's boot camp in Las Vegas, but he could not get laid in Toronto again. So it was easy there, and he got laid with a Latina. But then afterwards, I started coaching him for pre-boot camp training. He got laid. So there you go. Here's a 5'3" student that got a blowjob from Asia. He was about to kill himself. I had to rebuild his body, his fashion, everything, his social skills, and then he got a blowjob. He's still a virgin, but 5'4" Korean. I changed his hairstyle, his fashion, but he didn't give me any credit. He got laid during the beginning of the pandemic. So the problem with these guys is that when they stop using my algorithms, they don't get laid anymore. Here's a 5'6" Chinese guy. He bangs a Swedish 8.5 out of 10, and this guy, I cover his face completely because that's what he requested. I met him in real life too when I was in Europe. So South Brooklyn, a Brazilian guy pulled. He's 5'7" or 5'6", but he was so stubborn. He didn't go for the lay because he didn't want a girlfriend. Like, do you see a pattern here? It doesn't matter what your height is. It's just you have to get 20 out of 35, and that takes a lot of work. No one's willing to put in the work to build up their habits, not tactics. It's just a shortcut because autistic people, they rather just do it the easy way. This is the most calibrated way in the world. I see. So look wealthy, but just don't pay for. Yeah, you don't pay for shit. You just look wealthy. It just poses easier. If she wants to be your like a boyfriend or something, just say, I don't want to be your fucking boyfriend, and just fuck her. So you can disqualify yourself. Approaching a t-shirt works equally as a blazer. No, you'll go through like at least 4,000 approaches with a t-shirt. So it's 20 out of 35, not 45. So all these raises the score. there's always a cutoff point. It is down to a science. So your race, you can see out of 10 what it is, status maxing, what your looks is. But I can raise your looks with a hairstyle fashion. Your money, I can raise that. Your status, looking whitewash, I can raise that. You get it? And these things you have to work for: social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. You can work on game no matter what game system you learn from other coaches. It's always the same fucking 2.5 points. You got to work on these two, man. That's hard work. That's habits. Habits usually take 21 days to develop. Just like carving your key. When you carve a key out, right? The exact shape. When that 5'7" like bald German dude carved it in Kaizen, she can tell he had social skills and social calibrations. It's automatic lays. 3 in a row. 3 in the fucking row. So that debunks everything. No looks, no height. White. White's right. 10 out of 10. When you got social skills and social calibrations, unstoppable. It's all, there's no number is game. It's all like 20 out of 35. It's always science. Can you be 10 out of 17 then? The score depends on the value of the girl. No. Look, if you want to bang women below your look scale, then you can be below 20 out of 35. You can RSD it with 4,000 approaches, and you might eventually bang a 2 out of 10. But there are some guys out there with no skills, no value. They won't even get laid with 4,000 approaches. RSD victims. They have no fucking skills, no social calibrations. It's like self-proclaimed high lay count guy's Asian student. He has no fucking value, has a shit hairstyle, shit fashion, shit everything. And he's out there because he was told, you're awesome. Expect a lay. Well, there's not enough value. He can expect all he wants. Once you get the value, then do expect it. That's accurate. But before the value, I don't know. Only 3 lay testimonials for day game. Anyways, that's all I want to say. I'm losing my voice. 3 hours and 21 minutes. Anyways, I hope you guys learned a lot. And for those of you, invest in yourself. If you invest in my coaching, I will invest my emotional investment in my knowledge. Now pour everything into your head, but you have to do all of the steps. If you knew exactly how to carve your key and get automatic lay, but it takes a little bit of work. 21-day habit. It might take you 10 days to get that lay. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's faster than waiting 8 years with RSD. It takes 8 fucking years with RSD where you're spam approaching. And if you're 5'11", then you might get like 5 lays and then 4,000 approaches each. But that doesn't work that well during a pandemic because you're part of the out tribe. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, thank you for being here. I'll try to be here more often. If I get over 50 hours of watch time in this video, I'll make another one. So good talking to you guys. And if you don't want to coach with me, you're not ready, then don't coach with me. I don't care. I don't need your money. If you want to coach with me, then coach with me. But you have to be ready mentally. You have to have grit. So that's all I gotta say. And we'll see you next video.